played at high volume, preferably in a residential area. This, this, this should be played. This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised.
Shalom, salama, siyemi, shalom, family abroad. Let's bring everybody on in. Can't wait to jump on into tonight's reading. Oh man, all praise to the Most High God. Let me go and bring the comments back on up right quick. See who all we got with us. Salama to you always, Shauna Shea, Lamira Johnson, Dre Lee, Auntie Cam 2 player. Let's see here. Central Growth, Miss B. Oh, yeah, everybody. Oh, thank y'all for showing on up. Got some good news. All praise to the Most High, y'all. Your boy just found a car today for $950. So, whew, man, that's where that STEMI money went. So I'm getting my bug out plans together. All right, so for those of y'all don't know about the bug out bag, the bug out plans, yeah, that's the Most High bless your boy today to be more prepared for the bug out, you know, so that way, whatever I need to take with me in the bug out, yeah, I got room in the trunk, got a big enough trunk in this Buick Century, man, can't wait. I can wait a little bit for the bug out, but when it comes time, man. Your boy got to be ready. Shalom to you always, Lynn Bernard. Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, I'm excited for this reading as well. Go ahead and say what's happening, family. I'm talking a little too much, but I wanted to give praise and thanks to the Most High Yah for that blessing and let y'all know. Praise him, Father. Praise him. Praise him, everybody. Family, praise the Father. Yeah, that's right. Praise break. Allow Yah. Yeah. Go ahead, family.
Hallelujah, man, brother, man. Hey, we talked earlier, you know what I mean? So, man, I'm, I'm so happy for you, brother. And like I was saying, we always talking right before we get on. Like it's like that season, He's passing it around. We got to give him the praise and the worship that he definitely deserves. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely worthy. You know what I mean? He's the way maker. And Shalom Israel. Love y'all, man. I'm glad to be back, man. Like I said, brother, we was ready to have our reading with Ross. We was all watching Jacoba, you know what I'm saying? And we was watching Jacoba right all together behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying? So it's like we all got that, and now Jacoba amped us up. We ready for the reading now.
Yeah.
What y'all got?
Go ahead, sisters.
Shalom, family. And Roz, I was so excited for you this afternoon. I don't think I can really explain to you how happy I was for you. Genuinely happy. It's been a long time since I've had that sense. Did you see me like almost jumping up and down? Like,
yeah, I did. And see, you've been eyewitness to a lot of tribulations your boy been going through for the past couple months. And so to see what the Most High has done with me through these tribulations, I thank you. I thank you for bearing witness to these things.
It's definitely a blessing to watch you grow, Rob. Just like watching anybody, whether it's your kids, your family member, or whoever, when you see good things happening to them, even bad things, you want to be able to help. You want to be able to be a part of. And I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to do that. I praise y'all for us meeting and being able to be put in the situation that we are in today.
So enough. All praise to the Most High Yah. Yazaret.
Shalom, family. It's so nice to be here tonight. I'm so grateful for all of you in this new season of restoring, reviving, and elevation. I'm just very grateful and excited to get into this word.
Sure enough, me too, me too. Shalom to you always, Elkin Barlow. Good to see you. Good to see you always. Let's see here. Make sure I'm not forgetting anybody before we go ahead and jump right on in, because whew, we got some good ones to go over. So as a quick little recap, let's see here. We got to see everybody exit from the ark. We got to see um, how the land was divided up between Noah's three sons. We also got to see the contract that everybody signed with an oath to not take anybody else's land, to not do that. And if you do that, you will be cursed. All right. So we got to see that very important document right there, or that understanding about this document. All right. That we went and recapped over that a good little bit. We got to see some of the confusing way how the scripture describes the lands. You know, it wasn't completely confusing, but it wasn't clear at all. It really wasn't. So that's why I said if y'all can decipher some of that and kind of understand the geography of now and then, but all praise to the Most High God. But we definitely
I,
know. Go ahead, sis.
yeah, I just interrupt real quick because
Go ahead.
I've been wondering for a while now. Everybody believes that the Bible is real, right? I mean, we're not in any. We know that it's been changed and things like that, but we believe it's real.
Mm-hmm.
So, wouldn't this declaration of deeds stand up in court?
Oh,
Hey,
oh,
hey!
oh. That sounds
You
like
got a
something
point,
right
Dusty.
there. All right, definitely. Oh yeah. Also, I want to go ahead and remind y'all, family. All right, because if we're reading through something tonight, and there's something that y'all want to pick at right quick, by all means, it's all good to say, "Hey, can we go over that?" Interrupt me. It's all good and cool. Because if it jumps off the page to you like that, you know, right then and there, by all means, we can go ahead and talk about it. All right. So I'm cool with that. I want to make sure that is known. So that way I don't just keep on reading and then wait until I see something if y'all already did see something. So if y'all see something that I don't see off top and you want to discuss it, by all means, we can talk about it. But also in the recap, we got to see Abraham. We got to see him come onto the scene. We got to revisit a little bit of his creative ability to not only be the scarecrow and get his name to his claim to fame off the start for shooing away the ravens. And then we also seen how he invented the first hopper, the seed hopper for the plow. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So they didn't have to fear the birds anymore. We got to see um, how Abraham was taught right here. Almighty Yahuwah Almighty said, "Open his mouth and his ears, that he may hear and speak with his mouth with the language which has been revealed, for it had ceased from the mouths of all the children of men from the day of the overthrow. And I opened his mouth and his ears and his lips, and I began to speak with him in Hebrew, the tongue of creation." So we got to see that part right there before we finished off. And now we're getting, and we also got to see how Abraham sojourned with his father for a while until he's to find his land. But the Most High had already spoke to him and told him to go to the land of Canaan. But he didn't tell his dad that's exactly where he was going. His dad just says, when you find this land, if you see a land pleasant to your eyes to dwell in, then arise and take me to you, and take Lot with you, the son of Haran, your brother, as your own son. Yahuwah be with you. So we got to see how he's fixing to take Lot with him on this journey. You know, so this is, we're going to go ahead and get on into it. So without any further ado, we see here Abraham leaves Haran and goes to Canaan. All right. And Abraham journeyed from Haran, and he took Sarai, his wife, and Lot, his brother Haran's son, to the land of Canaan, and he came into Ashur and proceeded to Shechem or Shechem. whichever way you want to pronounce it, Shechem or Shechem, it's all right with me. And he dwelt near a lofty oak, and he saw, and behold, the land was very pleasant from the entering of Hamath to the lofty oak. And Yahuwah said to him, to you and your seed will I give this land. And he built an altar there, and he offered thereon a burnt sacrifice to Yahuwah, who had appeared to him. And he removed from there to the mountain Bethel on the west, and Ai on the east, and pitched his tent there. And he saw, and behold, the land was very wide and good, and everything grew thereon, vines and figs and pomegranates, oaks, and it looks like it says Alexis and terebinths. That's a new one for me. And in oil trees, and cedars and cypresses and date trees and all trees of the field, and there was water on the mountains. And he blessed Yahuwah, who had led him out of Ur of the Chaldees, and had brought him to this land. And it came to pass in the first year, in the 7th week, on the new month of the first month, that he built an altar on this mountain, and he called on the name Yahuwah. Well, at this point in time, we don't know if he was given the name Ahaya, I am. So we're going to say he called on the name of Yahuwah. You, the eternal Yahuwah, are my sovereign ruler. And he offered on the altar a burnt sacrifice unto Yahuwah, that he should be with him and not forsake him all the days of his life. And he removed from there and went towards the south. And he came to Hebron. And Hebron was built at that time, and he dwelt there 2 years. And he went there into the land of the south to Baloth or Beloth. And there was a famine in the land. And Abram went into Egypt in the 3rd year of the week. And he dwelt in Egypt 5 years before his wife was torn away from him. Now, Tanais in Egypt was at that time built 7 years after Hebron. And it came to pass when Pharaoh seized Sarai, the wife of Abram, that Yahuwah plagued Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarai, Abram's wife. And Abram was very wealthy by reason of possessions in sheep and cattle. As a matter of fact, as I'm reading this right quick, let me go ahead and blow this on up for y'all. There we go. Some just told me, hey, blow that up for the family right quick. I don't think I can really read that. All right. So, and Abram was very wealthy by reason of possessions in sheep and cattle and asses and horses and camels and men servants and maid servants, and in silver and in gold exceedingly. And Lot also, his brother's son, was wealthy. And Pharaoh gave back Sarai, the wife of Abram, and he sent him out of the land of Egypt. And he journeyed to the place where he had pitched his tent at the beginning, to the place of the altar, with Ai on the east and Bethel on the west. And he blessed Yahuwah, his sovereign ruler, who had brought him back in Shalom. And it came to pass in the 41st Jubilee, in the 3rd year of the 1st week, that he returned to this place and offered thereon a burnt sacrifice, and called on the name of Yahuwah, and said, you, the Most High Yahuwah, are my sovereign ruler forever and ever. And in the 4th year of this week, Lot parted from him, and Lot dwelt in Sodom. And the men of Sodom were sinners exceedingly. And it grieved him in his heart that his brother's son had parted from him, for he had no children. In that year when Lot was taken captive, Yahuwah said to Abram, after that Lot had parted from him, in the 4th year of this week, lift up your eyes from the place where you are dwelling, northward and southward and westward and eastward. For all the land which you see, I will give to you and your seed forever. And I will make your seed as the sand of the sea, Though a man may number the dust of the earth, yet your seed shall not be numbered. Arise, walk through the land, and in the length of it, and the breadth of it, and see it all. For to your seed will I give it. And Abram went to Hebron and dwelt there. And in this year came Hadolamar, king of Elam, and Amraphel, king of Shinar, and Arioch, king of Selasar, and Turgal, king of nations, and slew the king of Gomorrah, and the king of Sodom fled. And many fell through the wounds in the vale of Siddim by the salt sea. And they took captive Sodom, and Adam, and Zeboim, and they took captive Lot also, the son of Abram's brother, and all his possessions. And they went to Dan. And one who had escaped came and told Abram that his brother's son had been taken captive. And Abram armed his household servants. For Abram and for his seed, a tenth of the first fruits to Yahuwah, and Yahuwah ordained it as an ordinance forever. All right, that they should give it to the priests who serve before him, that they should possess it forever. Now, real quick, we went through this in Jubilees, and Jubilees was a whole lot more clear about how Lot was taken. It was very much more clear about the kings or the other surrounding cities or their little nations or whatever that had something against Sodom and Gomorrah on their own, because they wasn't paying enough tax, or they just wasn't coming to submission to them. So they went ahead and came to ransack the city and take everything they could take. And in that process, they took Lot captive, and they took all Lot's property captive. And so somebody that escaped all this came and told Abraham about it. And so the other thing that Jubilees right here didn't tell us, that we saw in Jasher, was the compassion in the conversation between Abraham and Lot when Abram told him to depart from him, because they were on the border of the city, and Lot is over here with all his cattle and everything else, and he had a whole lot of abundance, and he's got his cattle and all his stuff eating up the locals, grass and everything else. And Abram had to tell him a couple of times, like, man, why have you become a stumbling block for me? You know what I'm saying? And to these people around, you're making me look bad. And so him and Lot had this argument a couple of times before he ended up having to tell Lot, like, look, man, I love you. Don't be afraid of me, but just depart from me. And if anybody come messing with you, essentially, I'm paraphrasing here, but y'all that tuned in, you saw this, that he told Lot, if anybody mess with you, let me know. I got you. But as for right now, just depart from me. You're doing too much right now here around me. So go find the land that's good for you, and I pray it all works out for you. But once again, if anybody mess with you, I got you. There you go, bro. Bring it back on in. All right. So I wanted to go ahead and talk on that, because I see right here how it's just kind of skipped how Abram armed his household and his household servants. For Abraham and his seed, a tenth of the first fruits to Yahuwah, and Yahuwah ordained it as an ordinance forever. So it kind of just skipped. Now, I don't know if this is the fault of the one who did this PDF, but, we just want to go ahead and let it ride and just keep on going, because we are going to break some of these things down when it comes up. So I felt right here when it kind of skipped, it was like, what? That line didn't even match what we just got in seeing. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about it right quick. All right. And so we are good with the tenth of the first fruits to Yahuwah. We good with that already. And Yahuwah ordained it as an ordinance forever, that they should give it to the priests who serve before him, that they should possess it forever. Now, we're cool with that in spirit, that's what we're supposed to do during the Feast of First Fruits. You know what I'm saying? We already cool with that. But as far as it matching, it didn't match right there. So we wanted to go and point that out too. But anyway, as we go right here on 26, and to this Torah there is no limit of days, or to this instruction there is no limit of days, for he has ordained it for the generations forever, that they should give to Yahuwah the tenth of everything, of the seed, of the wine, and of the oil, and of the cattle, and of the sheep. And he gave it unto his priests to eat and to drink with joy before him. And the king of Sodom came to him and bowed himself before him and said, Our Adonai Abram, give unto us the souls which you have rescued, but let the booty be yours. And Abram said, I lift up my hands to the Most High Yahweh, that from a thread to a shoe latchet I shall not take aught that is yours, lest you should say, I have made Abram rich, save only what the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men who went with me, Anir, Eshol, Mamre, and Mamre, these shall take their portion. And once again, before we keep on continuing, Jasher broke this down a whole lot better, because in Jasher it showed us that Abram, Anir, Eshol, and Mamre, and the others that he took with them, they chased down these 5 kings and slew 4 of them, and one of the kings got away. But then once the king of Sodom had saw that Abram and his company had killed the kings for them and brought back everything that was stolen, including Lot and everything that was stolen from Lot, then the king of Sodom is like, can you just go ahead and give all that back? Give it all back, And Abram's like, you know what? I'll give you, some of this back. But I do need my hire. And not only do I need my hire, but the people that came with me, they're going to need their hire. Now, after that, you can have it all back. Because you ain't going to run around here talking about, I have made Abram rich. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going to say that through my poverty, I made Abram rich, is what it said in Jasher. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to go ahead and talk on that right quick, too. All right. So Jubilees 14. Yahuwah comes to Abram in a dream. Let's go ahead and get you back in here. There you go. All right. So after these things, in the 4th year of this week, on the new month of the 3rd month, the word of Yahuwah came to Abram in a dream, saying, Fear not, Abram, I am your defender, and your reward will be exceeding great. And he said, Yahuwah Almighty, what would you give me, seeing I go hence childless? And the son of Mesech, the son of my handmaid, is the Damasek Eliezer. He will be my heir, and to me you have given no seed. And he said to him, This man will not be your heir, but one that will come out of your bowels, he will be your heir. And so if you didn't catch that, he's complaining about being childless, but he's saying, Eliezer, he's my right-hand man right here. He's my manservant, and, if this keeps on going like this and I don't have any children, my manservant over here, he's going to be my heir because you ain't give me no seed. And he's like, nah, you're going to have a seed. You're going to have a son, but one that will come out of your own bowels, he will be your heir. And he brought him forth abroad and said to him, Look toward heaven and number the stars, if you are able to number them. And he looked toward heaven and beheld the stars. And he said to him, So shall your seed be. And he believed in Yahuwah, and it was counted to him for righteousness. And he said to him, I am Yahuwah that brought you out of Ur of the Chaldees, to give you the land of the Canaanites, to possess it forever, and I will be sovereign ruler unto you and to your seed after you. And he said, Yahuwah Almighty, whereby shall I know that I shall inherit it? And he said to him, take me an heifer of 3 years, and a goat of 3 years, and a sheep of 3 years, and a turtle dove, and a pigeon. And he took all these in the middle of the month, and he dwelt at the oak of Mamre, which is near Hebron. And he built there an altar, and sacrificed all these. And he poured all their blood upon the altar, and divided them in the midst, and laid them over against each other. But the birds divided he not. So he had these whole Cornish hens off to the side, pretty much, as we want to call them. And birds came down upon the pieces, and Abram drove them away, and did not suffer the birds to touch them. And it came to pass, when the sun had set, that an ecstasy fell upon Abram, and lo, a horror of great darkness fell upon him. And it was said to Abram, know of a surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall bring them into bondage, and afflict them 400 years. And the nation also to whom they will be in bondage will I judge, and after that they shall come forth thence with much substance. And you shall go to your fathers in Shalom, and be buried in a good old age. But in the 4th generation they shall return here, for the iniquity of the Amorites is not yet full. And he awoke from his sleep, and he arose, and the sun had set. And there was a flame, and behold, a furnace was smoking, and a flame of fire passed between the pieces. And on that day, Yahuwah made a covenant with Abram, saying, to your seed will I give this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates, the Kenites, the Kenizzites, the Cadmonites, the Perizzites, and the Raphaim, and the Phacharites, that's man, and the Hivites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Girgashites, and the Jebusites. And the day passed, and Abram offered the pieces, and the birds, and their fruit offerings, and their drink offerings, and the fire devoured them. And on that day we made a covenant with Abram, according as we had covenanted with Noah in this same month, or in this month. And Abram renewed the festival and ordinance for himself forever. And Abram rejoiced, and made all these things known to Sarai his wife. And he believed that he would have seed, but she did not bear. And Sarai advised her husband Abram, and said to him, go unto Hagar, my Egyptian maid. It may be that I shall build up seed unto you by her. And Abram listened unto the voice of Sarai his wife, and said to her, do so. And Sarai took Hagar, her maid, the Egyptian, and gave her to Abram and her husband to be his wife. And he went unto her, and she conceived and bare him a son, and he called his name Ishmael, in the 5th year of this week. And this was the 86th year in the life of Abram. Now, before we go on down here, something I just caught. I don't know if y'all caught it as we're going. And this covenant, all right, the Noahide covenant, something that we keep saying, as well. I know I keep saying it, but those that know keep saying that the covenant has never changed, all the way from Enoch to Noah, and now Abram renewed this covenant, this same Noahide covenant for himself. Since the covenant started with Noah and his 3 sons, but then they all forsook the covenant. We saw that after Noah's death. But see, Abram, after this burnt offerings right here in his dream, he renewed this covenant for himself. All right. So what y'all got, family?
I think another important thing is that we should all recognize if we haven't, with the blessing, we should acknowledge that Abraham was told that he would be, his people would be in bondage. So, what does that say about our lives? That, we're going to have discomfort, we're going to have trials, and we're going to have tribulations. It's not going to be easy, but there comes a blessing, and we have to really focus on the covenant that Yah has made with us, to be encouraged to press through, because the bondage is just temporary. That's what I got.
I hear you. I hear you. The one thing that we do know about this bondage, though, is that we have been in this bondage for 400 years here in the United States of Babylon.
Hmm.
So this is something. Okay, we see Shauna Shade. I believe it means they have not completed their appointed wickedness before they can be punished. She's talking to essential growth, something like the cup of Yah's wrath. Nice. And that's to do with the Amorites. I believe she's talking about there. And right here, what does it mean when he says that the sins of the Amorites hasn't been fulfilled? Those Amorites are those those people that say they the people, but they ain't the people. They've
But
changed their names. Go ahead.
aren't they also the same people that stole the girl and brought her home and raped her and all that stuff? And then our kinfolk came to get her by um, saying that all the men needed to be circumcised.
Um, that's a good one. I can't remember if the people of Shechem were Amorites. I know there were
Okay.
We did see that there were Amorite nations and Amorite tribes and strongholds around in the land of Canaan. We did see that, but as far as Shechem or Shechem being an Amorite nation, I'm not for certain about that. Yeah, she's talking
Okay.
about, and Lynn Bernard said Dinah
Yes,
right there,
Dinah.
their sister,
Yes,
well,
that was her
Jacob's
name.
daughter. Mm, good
Yeah, I don't
stuff.
have, I don't really have nothing because I agree with everything everybody said. It's just I'm more kind of, you know, listening to the word, and I'm more kind of where you at with it, Rawls. It's like, I'm kind of trying to remember a little bit of Jasher and see how Jasher read and see how this Jubilee read. This is my first time ever reading Jubilee, so it's like I'm just I'm trying to examine and download the difference between the information of the two. You know what I mean?
Right. And all praise to the Most High. Like I said, when I see it, I because we just got done reading Jasher, and we all saw how
Right.
clean Jasher explained so much, and we also see how Jubilees right here is reading still differently, but then in a couple parts still the same as Genesis, but it's still not as deep and clear as Jasher.
Right, right,
Don't we
right.
all just love how they always try to number us, even though God says that we were innumberable, that it'll be so many of us. And even now, we always get, we're this 13% of the population. Um, but God says that it would be so many of us that it would be like trying to count the stars or try to count sand.
Mm.
Right, right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Sis, they always trying to give us a number instead of
Yes.
going with what scripts say. You know what I'm saying? Scripts say that it's like trying to count the sand, trying to count the stars. You know what I mean? And it's like, but they're real hard with trying to give us a number. You know what I mean? And we see it
Mm-hmm.
like it's like so many of us like, man, how they get those numbers when we be looking around and it's like there's a lot of us how they get those numbers, but they real technical with trying to give us numbers. We don't really too much hear numbers on other people. They always giving us numbers.
Right.
So do. All right. So let's go ahead and keep moving. All right. So we got right here in 15, Yahuwah appeared to Abram at the feast of the first fruits. In the 5th year of the 4th week of this Jubilee, in the 3rd month, in the middle of the month, Abram celebrated the feast of first fruits of the grain of the grain harvest, and he offered new offerings on the altar, the first fruits of produce unto Yahuwah, and heifer, and a goat, and a sheep on the altar, as burnt sacrifice unto Yahuwah. Their fruit offerings and their drink offerings he offered upon the altar with frankincense. And Yahuwah appeared to Abram and said to him, I am Yahuwah Almighty. Approve yourself before me and be you perfect. And I will make my covenant between me and you, and I will multiply you exceedingly. And Abram fell on his face, and Yahuwah talked with him and said, Behold, my ordinance is with you, and you shall be the father of many nations. And there shall your name any more be called Abram, but your name from henceforth, even forever, shall be Abraham. For the father of many nations I have made you, and I will make you very great, and I will make you into nations, and kings shall come forth from you. And I shall establish my covenant between me and you, and your seed after you, throughout their generations, for an eternal covenant, so that I may be a sovereign ruler to you, and to your seed after you. In the land where you have been sojourner, the land of Canaan, that you may possess it forever, and I will be their sovereign ruler. And Yahuwah said to Abraham, and as for you, do you keep my covenant, you and your seed after you, and circumcise you every male among you, and circumcise your foreskins, and it shall be a token of an eternal covenant between me and you. Excuse me. And the child on the 8th day you shall circumcise every male. Excuse me again, family. Been drinking some strawberry banana juice, so I got little burps here and there. Apologize, my bad. Every male throughout your generations, him that is born in the house, and whom you have bought with money from any stranger, whom you have acquired, who is not of your seed. So he's saying everybody that's in your household and everybody you acquire along the way, you shall circumcise. All right. He that is born in your house shall surely be circumcised, and those whom you have bought with money shall be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an eternal ordinance. And the uncircumcised male who is not circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin on the 8th day, that soul shall be cut off from his people, for he has broken my covenant. He ain't playing. Pops is not playing. And Yahuwah said to Abraham, as for Sarai, your wife, her name shall no more be called Sarai, but Sarah shall be her name. And I will bless her and give you a son by her, and I will bless him, and he shall become a nation, and kings of nations shall proceed from him. And Abraham fell on his face and rejoiced, and said in his heart, shall a son be born to him that is 100 years old? And shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bring forth? And Abraham said to Yahuwah, oh, that Ishmael might live before you. And Yahuwah said, yes, and Sarah also shall bear you a son, and you shall call his name Yishak. And I will establish my covenant with him, an everlasting covenant, and for his seed after him. And as for Ishmael, also have I heard you, and behold, I will bless him, and make him great, and multiply him exceedingly. And he shall beget 12 princes, and I will make him a great nation. But my covenant will I establish with Yishai, whom Sarah shall bear to you in these days in the next year. And he left off speaking with him. And Yahuwah went up from Abraham. And Abraham did according as Yahuwah had said to him. And he took Ishmael his son, and all that were born in his house, and whom he had bought with his money, every male in his house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskin. And on the selfsame day was Abraham circumcised, and all the men of his house, and all those whom he had bought with money from the children of the stranger were circumcised with him. This Torah, or this instruction, is for all generations forever, and there is no circumcision of the days, and no omission of one day out of the 8 days, for it is an eternal ordinance, ordained and written on the heavenly tablets. And everyone that is born, the flesh of whose foreskin is not circumcised on the 8th day, belongs not to the children of the covenant which Yahuwah made with Abraham, but to the children of destruction. Nor is there moreover any sign on him that he is Yahuwah's, but he is destined to be destroyed and slain from the earth, and to be rooted out of the earth, for he has broken the covenant of Yahuwah, our sovereign ruler. For all the Malachim of the presence and all the Malachim of the sanctification have been so created from the day of their creation. And before the Malachim of the presence and the Malachim of sanctification, he has sanctified Yisrael, or Yasharel, that they should be with him and with his Kodesh Malachim. And do you command the children of Israel, and let them observe the sign of this covenant for their generations as an eternal ordinance, and they will not be rooted out of the land. For the command is ordained for a covenant, that they should observe it forever among all the children of Israel. For Ishmael and his sons and his brothers and Esau, Yahuwah did not cause to approach him, and he chose them not, because they are the children of Abraham, because he knew them, but he chose Yisrael to be his people, and he sanctified it, and gathered it from amongst all the children of men. For they are many nations and many peoples, and all are his. And over all has he placed spirits in authority to lead them astray from him. But over Yisrael he did not appoint any malach or spirit, for he alone is their ruler, and he will preserve them and require them at the hand of his malachim and his spirits, and that the hand of all his powers, in order that he may preserve them and bless them, and that they may be his, and he may be theirs from henceforth forever. So just real quick, this right here goes to show that the Most High chose this people to be his people, his nation, and the other nations are not his. The other nations belong to other malachim, or other angels or spirits. But he alone is their ruler. We belong to the Father and the Father only. All right. And now I announce unto you that the children of Israel will not keep true to this ordinance, and they will not circumcise their sons according to all this Torah. For in the flesh of their circumcision, they will omit the circumcision of their sons, and all of them, sons of Belial, will leave their sons uncircumcised as they were born. And there will be great wrath from Yahuwah against the children of Israel, because they have forsaken his covenant and turned aside from his word, and provoked and blasphemed, inasmuch as they do not observe the ordinances of this Torah, or this instruction. For they have treated their members like the Gentiles, so they may be removed and rooted out of the land, and there will no more be pardon or forgiveness unto them, so that there should be forgiveness and pardon for all the sin of this eternal error. Let's read that one more again. And there will no more be pardon or forgiveness unto them, so that there should be forgiveness and pardon for all the sin of this eternal error. Sounds like this is another reason why they took this book away, family, because we keep getting from these churchianity folks that circumcision is being put under the law, and you're a Judaizer for doing that. You know what I'm saying? But right here, the Father says, if you don't circumcise your child within 8 days, your son within 8 days, that child will be rooted out of the nation, and they will not be a part of the covenant, for they have forsaken
Now,
his covenant. Go ahead.
so that I'm just I'm a little confused. Obviously, we don't have the proper, context in which to actually do that circumcision. But as a mother of a male child, I know that circumcision is like, I mean, it's as common as giving birth. I mean, they hand out circumcisions like, through lollipops. um, it's not. I don't know that too many people are not circumcised today. Um, so that's why this part here is kind of confusing to me, because most people nowadays, most males nowadays, let's be specific, are circumcised.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, parents do have the option, I guess, because they tried to ask
Right,
me the same thing for my sons being born. My oldest son, I was there for his. My youngest son, I was there for his. I unfortunately was not there for my third son or my second son's birth, but my oldest and my youngest son, they asked me, if I wanted to have them circumcised. I said, yeah.
right,
And that was before I even really knew how important this covenant was. It was just in me to say, yeah.
right.
like like we don't play that turtleneck stuff. I'm so, oh man, something either right with me or something wrong with me. I apologize, family, but
You are right.
oh goodness. All right. But yeah, the Father is not playing when it comes to something like this. And he said there is no timeline that this should even cease. There is no there is no ceasing doing this. So when we get into the Second Testament and we see all these copy and paste errors, you know what I'm saying, how, Rome implemented some scriptures here and there, like, oh, circumcision really isn't that important, those that really, they even put in there that Paul even said it's not that important. That if if y'all, I wish that those that make it important would just do the whole thing. That's what they have Paul saying in the New Testament. That if you emphasize the circumcision so much, then y'all might as well just cut the whole thing off, because y'all, this is for naught. I beg to differ. I beg to differ.
But didn't Paul circumcise Timothy though?
That part.
So why wouldn't he? So if he said it was, I mean, why would he circumcise somebody? If you see what I'm saying, like,
Right.
if y'all got him speaking against it, you see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I always try to look at things in the natural and the spiritual, because, right, things are spiritual as well. So when we look at things in the natural, that's great. We always have to look at things in the spiritual. So depending where you see circumcision, circumcision can also be in the spiritual, you getting cut, you going through something, you experiencing something. Just
Right.
like, a lot of us have gone through, let's say, homelessness, losing our kids, not having anything to eat, having cancer, getting delivered from cancer, and seeing Yah's glory over our life. That was our cut. That was where we, became closer to him, learned about him, build relationship with him. So I just want everybody to keep in mind that everything is, some things are literal, but other things you have to also look at the spiritual element as well.
Hear you, but
Yeah.
but
Most
Pops is not
definitely.
playing. I hear you, but Pops
Yeah.
is not playing.
I mean,
Yeah.
I look at it. In I have to agree with Miss Yaz on that one. I kind of had to agree with her. You know what I'm saying? Because in the sense of it, it's like, I mean, now I'm, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to throw this in a way. You see what I'm saying? I know I'm looking at the words, right? I'm looking at the words. This is kind of a touchy hand type situation. You know what I'm saying? And it's kind of personal. I won't be talking. I
No,
need my.
you ain't gotta
You
do
know what I'm
all
saying?
that.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So, but you see, in the same sense of it, it's like I can feel where she's going with it because, in the sense of it, because I know personally that all of Judah over here is not circumcised. You see what I'm saying?
I hear you.
So in a sense of that, with this last thing that he's doing, it's gotta be. I think that's the reason for the Messiah because he has to apply that grace to those things that was uncontrollable. Now,
Okay.
now in his kingdom, when the new kingdom come, New Jerusalem come, yeah, I'm pretty sure he's gonna apply everything because he's gonna he says in the new kingdom that we gonna celebrate tabernacles, so he's gonna have some rules, and I'm pretty sure that this is gonna probably be one of those rules. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But I'm saying that in the sense of it, like you have to look at certain things spiritual with what she's saying, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying that in the sense of it, we have to sit there and be ideal mindedly with it because in the same sense, I know for facts. You know what I'm saying? Just like you know for facts, Ross, that all Judah over here, is not circumcised. You know what I mean? So,
True.
you know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
I
So in
pray
the
for
sense
him.
of that, he's got to have that some type of balance to you know what I'm saying? Because I know people that was born home. That's what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying? I know
Right.
people that was born home. You know what I mean? Like what's up with those folk? You know what I mean? Uh,
Oh, that's
Or
a good question.
or what's up with the people who physically were circumcised and are still don't have a relationship with Yah because they were physically circumcised. They may not have been spiritually circumcised.
Right. And that's
right,
the
that part.
circumcision of the heart,
Or the heart,
removing,
right.
yeah,
Right, and
removing the sin and fat from our hearts.
right, and that usually happens when we get cut in other areas when things happen to us. It's like pride comes before the fall.
True.
So, yes, it's the piercing of the heart, but what pierces our heart? When we are humbled, when we realize that we've gotten to the point where we can no longer do things ourselves, that we don't run things. Okay, because a lot of times people forget that there is someone and something above them, that everything they have has been given to them. They have not received it in their own strength. And some people really believe that they do receive these things in their own strength. So, yes, this is why I'm saying that it's not just physical, because physical was not enough. It just was not enough. It had to get to the point where it became spiritual in relationships. So we have to get circumcised spiritually. I mean, there's I've been circumcised spiritually many times. So when I start seeing things shaking up with my kids, I gotta turn to them and be like, "Listen, I already been circumcised a couple of times. Can you get yourself together? Because I feel like I'm getting circumcised for you." because you haven't been
Mm.
circumcised yet. So we can't. It's not just the physical was not enough. It wasn't enough. It had to be spiritual too. And I think that when you mentioned the second covenant and Paul, I believe that that's probably what Paul was saying. Like it's not just cutting off the skin. It's more than that. You have to. It's a spiritual circumcision as well.
I can agree with that. I can agree
Yeah,
with
and
that.
I totally agree. I like because it's like in a sense of it, like just to piggyback on what I said, on what she said, is the physical kind of has to represent the spiritual. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? The cut represents the spiritual thing that happened with you, or what are you walking into? You see what I mean? Or you know what I mean? You see what I don't know if I'm kind of explaining it right, but in the sense of it, but if you get something, it has to mean something. You see what I'm saying? Because how she was saying, what about the people that circumcised that's, you know, worshiping other,
It ain't
they could
right.
be in Kemet. Yeah, they could be in Kemet. You know what I'm saying? They could be in Kemet circumcised. What about them? So it's, you know what I'm saying? We got to have a balance because the actual performance should be based on how you on what your spirit man is.
There's a lot of good comments coming in. A lot
Oh
of good
yeah.
comments.
Oh yeah. I was looking on my phone because I was looking at the PDF on my screen. And then once I saw some of these comments on my phone and everything, I was like, let me go and switch back and go ahead and pull some of these on up. And
Yes, the
let's
Most High
see here.
handles the spiritual circumcision. Yes.
Yeah. Auntie Cam too says she definitely agrees with you. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Let's see here. Try to go back through some of these. Yeah. That was before when we was talking about that part. And yeah, y'all likes cleanness. So I'm cool with
Yes.
I'm good with all of those things. And that was a very good pause moment to talk about that circumcision right there because yeah, absolutely.
Is
And
it?
I agree with what you're saying because the the covenant, with this right here is saying, yeah, the physical.
Right.
This right here should inspire the rest. Now,
Right.
obviously, throughout the timeline from this point all the way up to Paul's time, we have some falling off to where that physical circumcision wasn't enough, like you were saying. And I can agree with you there. So
Right.
that way
Right.
the spiritual part has to be taken into more consideration of what's inside your heart. So I very much appreciate what everybody's saying in the comment section. I very much appreciate how you broke that down. You know what I'm saying? That's good. I appreciate that.
Amen.
All right. So let's go ahead and
Amen.
amen. Halal Yah. So let's go ahead and get on to 16. The Malachim appear unto Abraham. And on the new month of the 4th month, we appeared unto Abraham at the oak of Mamre. And we talked with him, and we announced to him that a son would be given to him by Sarah, his wife. And Sarah laughed, for she heard that we had spoken these words with Abraham, and we admonished her, and she became afraid and denied that she had laughed on account of the words. And we told her the name of her son, and his name is ordained and written in the heavenly tablets, Yishak. And and that when we returned to her at a set time, she would have conceived a son. And in this month, Yahuwah executed his judgments on Sodom and Gomorrah and Zeboam and all the region of the Jordan. And he burned them with fire and brimstone and destroyed them until this day. Even as, lo, I have declared unto you all their works, that they are wicked and sinners exceedingly, and that they defile themselves and commit fornication in their flesh, and work uncleanness on the earth. And in like manner, Yahuwah will execute judgment on the places where they have done according to the uncleanness of the Sodomites, like unto the judgment of Sodom. But Lot was saved, for Yahuwah remembered Abraham and sent him out from the midst of the overthrow. And he and his daughters committed sin upon the earth, such as not been on the earth since the days of Adam till his time. For the man lay with his daughters, and behold, it was commanded and engraved concerning all his seed on the heavenly tablets to remove them and root them out, and to execute judgment upon them like the judgment of Sodom, and to leave no seed of the man on earth on the day of condemnation. Ooh, that's different. That is way different. And in this month, Abraham moved from Hebron and departed and dwelt between Kadesh and Shur in the mountains of Gerar. And in the middle of the 5th month, he moved from there and dwelt at the well of the oath. And in the middle of the 6th month, Yahuwah visited Sarah and did unto her as he had spoken, and she conceived. And she bare a son in the 3rd month. And in the middle of the month, at the time of which Yahuwah had spoken to Abraham, on the festival of the first fruits of the harvest, Yishak was born. And Abraham circumcised his son on the 8th day. And he was the first that was circumcised according to the covenant which was ordained forever. Forever. And in the 6th year of the 4th week, we came to Abraham to the well of the oath, and we appeared unto him as we had told Sarah that we should return to her, and she would have conceived a son. And we returned in the 7th month and found Sarah with child before us, and we blessed him. And we announced to him all the things which had been decreed concerning him, that he should not die till he should beget 6 sons, or 6 sons more, and should see them before he died. But that in Yishak should his name and seed be called, and that all the seed of his sons should be Gentiles, and be reckoned with the Gentiles. But from the sons of Yishak, one should become a Kodesh seed, and should not be reckoned among the Gentiles. Read that one more time. Let's go back up here. But that in Yishak should his name and seed be called, and that all the seed of his sons should be Gentiles. And to be reckoned with the Gentiles. But from the sons of Yishak, one should become a Kodesh seed, and should not be reckoned among the Gentiles. That's confusing. I'm just going to throw that out there. That's confusing. I appreciate the scripture. I pray that this was taken incomplete, but that's confusing. All right. I'm just going to be in agreement with y'all. If y'all think that's confusing, I'm with you. You ain't alone on that one. We're just going to keep it moving. We're going to let the scripture speak for itself. All right. For he should become the portion of the Most High, and all his seed had fallen into the possession of Yahuwah, that it should be unto Yahuwah a people for his possession above all nations, and that it should become a kingdom and priests and a Kodesh nation, or holy nation. And we went our way, and we announced to Sarah all that we had told him, and they both rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And he built there an altar to Yahuwah, and who had delivered him, and who was making him rejoice in the land of his sojourning. And he celebrated a festival of joy in this month, 7 days. Near the altar which he had built at the well of the oath. And he built booths for himself and for his servants on this festival, and was the first to celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles on the earth. And during these 7 days, he brought each day to the altar a burnt offering to Yahuwah, 2 oxen, 2 rams, 7 sheep, 1 he-goat for a sin offering, that he might atone thereby for himself and for his seed. And as a thank offering, 7 rams, 7 kids, 7 sheep, and 7 he-goats, and their fruit offerings and their drink offerings. And he burnt all the fat thereof on the altar, and a chosen offering unto Yahuwah for a sweet smelling savor. And morning and evening he burnt fragrant substances, frankincense and galbanum, and stacked, and nard, and myrrh, and spice, and custom. All these seven he offered, crushed, mixed together in equal parts, and pure. And he celebrated this feast during 7 days, rejoicing with all his heart and with all his soul, and he and all those who were in his house. And there was no stranger with him, nor any that was uncircumcised. And he blessed his Creator, who had created him in his generation, for he had created him according to his good pleasure. For he knew and perceived that from him would arise the plant of righteousness for the eternal generations, and from him a Kodesh seed, so that it should become like him who had made all things. And he blessed and rejoiced, and he called the name of this festival the festival of Yahuwah, a joy acceptable to the Most High Yahuwah. And we blessed him forever, and all his seed after him throughout all the generations of the earth, because he celebrated this festival in its season according to the testimony of the heavenly tablets. For this reason it is ordained on the heavenly tablets concerning Israel, that they should celebrate the Feast of Tabernacles 7 days with joy. In the seventh month, acceptable before Yahuwah, a statute forever throughout their generations, every year. And to this there is no limit of days, for it is ordained forever regarding Israel, that they should celebrate it and dwell in booths, and set wreaths upon their heads, and take leafy boughs and willows from the brook. And Abraham took branches of palm trees, and the fruit of goodly trees, and every day going round the altar with the branches 7 times a day. In the morning he praised and gave thanks to Yahuwah, his sovereign ruler, for all things in joy. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so I got while you were reading that, I got a revelation on the circumcision back then.
Okay.
Okay, so back then the reason why circumcision in the physical was so important is because um there is life in blood. And whenever
Mm-hmm.
you seen that there was a sacrifice given to the Most High, it was always a blood offering. And so this is how he recognized his people, by them spilling life in the blood. So when we go into the Second Testament, that's when things change into the spiritual circumcision, because we now have Yeshua. So the way of being circumcised is different.
Mm. That's deep.
Yeah. Because if you see when for your everything they sacrificed to the Most High was like it was sacrifice for a blood offering. There's life in blood. This is why he said earlier that we cannot eat meat with blood in it, because there's life in it.
Right.
So this is how he recognized his people, by them spilling their blood, by them circumcising themselves, because we didn't have Yeshua yet.
I hear you.
Right.
So that's why
I could definitely see that, because when you was just saying circumcised and then you said sacrifice right next to it, it kind of sounds like the same word. If you ask me, you know what I'm saying? Circumcised, sacrifices, don't you see some type of simulation with that?
Yeah.
And then you know, I believe, you know what I'm saying? I don't believe the law is done with. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe the law is done with, but I do believe in grace. You know what I'm saying? But I do believe the sacrificial part of the law is done with. We ain't gonna be no. I don't believe you're supposed to be sacrificing no lamb, because you have your
correct,
Yeshua already. You see what I'm saying?
correct.
Right.
Right. I still keep the wisdom of the law and keep the law, and but the sacrificial part of killing birds and doing stuff like that, I believe Yahshua has paid for that already. So
Right.
if Yahshua hasn't came yet in this term, that what we're reading and what she's speaking about, then that would make sense to me. I can agree.
No doubt, no doubt. I want to read this right here from Essential Growth. So Lot's seed is Moab, and his seed will be wiped out at judgment. Ruth was a Moabite, so that verse shows that lineage based on male seed, not female, or Ruth not Moabite. Well, there's something I see right there with that question. I really wish I had on deck Gad the Seer as far like a cross reference, because when I was reading Gad the Seer, there was a Moabite man that came to King Dawid, or King David. And he came to King David and he asked him, like, I want to pray to your God. I want to be a part of your nation. And he even told him, I'm a Moabite man. And he was like, hold on, let me pray for you right quick. So he prayed, and in the spirit he got that he told him right back in return that the Most High does not want your men. And he's like, what about the women? He's like, they're not men. He said, Most High don't want your men. Your women are okay. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not the women that carry that produce the seed. You know, an Israelite man can come to a Moabite woman and still make an Israelite child or man. But it's the Moabite man that makes more Moabite men or Moabite children. So very good to point that on out right there. And then we was talking about, I'm glad you see, on point. Abraham then married Keturah. See, this right here is what I missed right there, forgetting all about this right here. So while I was sitting here mixed up with that scripture about Yishak, you know, and then being, you know, mixed with Gentiles and all that stuff, I think Sister Shauna Shea, you know, accurately pulled this up because Abraham had other children. These children
Right.
right here, and these children right here, I believe, and I can agree that these children mixed and mingled with the Gentiles, but not Yishak. So that's on point. I appreciate that. Let's see here. Trying to go down a little bit more. See if there's anything else. Like to go on into that one sometime. I need to actually go into the scripts on that one. But I like that in you. Sure enough. Yep. We all agree there. We all agree right there. Absolutely. Yep. All right, let's go ahead and jump back on there. Yep, we got there. So now we're here at 17. All right, so Abraham made a great banquet, for Yishak was weaned. In the first year of the 5th week, Yishak was weaned in this jubilee. And Abraham made a great banquet in the 3rd month, on the day his son Yishak was weaned. And Ishmael, the son of Hagar, the Egyptian, was before the face of Abraham his father in his place. And Abraham rejoiced and blessed Yahuwah, because he had seen his sons and had not died childless. And he remembered the words which he had spoken to him on the day on which Lot had parted from him. And he rejoiced because Yahuwah had given him seed upon the earth to inherit the earth. And he blessed with all his mouth the creator of all things. And Sarah saw Ishmael playing and dancing, and Abraham rejoicing with great joy. And she became jealous of Ishmael and said to Abraham, cast out this bondwoman and her son, for the son of this bondwoman will not be heir with my son Yishak. Now, real quickly, family, This is not what Jasher told us. That's not the reason that Jasher told us that, Sarah told Abraham, like, cast this bondwoman and her child out. And Jasher, it showed us that Ishmael knew that Yishak was going to be the heir, even though he was the firstborn son. And he had drew back a bow, an arrow on Yishak, and was getting ready, shooting with the bow. And Sarah saw this, and she let him have it, and then told Abraham what happened, and Abraham was in agreement with this, like, oh no, no, cast them out, let them, you know what I'm saying? So he did away with them. But this is just a little different from what we got in Jasher. To see
Right,
Abraham dancing with Ishmael, just being happy that, okay, we have Yishak is just now being weaned from the bosom, and so he's still little, so he's not in the dancing age, but Ishmael is in the dancing age where he's big enough to dance around with his dad and everything else. And they're going to say that Sarah was jealous of Ishmael dancing with Abraham. So once again, we're going to let the scripture speak for itself, you know what I'm saying? And let that be that, you know what I'm saying? But we can just see some differences here between what we've gotten from Jasher and now Jubilees. All right. And so, and the thing was grievous in Abraham's sight because of his maidservant and because of his son, that he should drive them from him. And Yahuwah said to Abraham, let it not be grievous in your sight because of the child and because of the bondwoman. And all that Sarah has said to you, listen to her words and do them. For in Yishak shall your name and seed be called. But as for the son of this bondwoman, I will make him a great nation, because he is of your seed. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and placed them on the shoulder of Hagar and the child and sent her away. And she departed and wandered in the wilderness of Beersheba. And the water in the bottle was spent, and the child thirsted and was not able to go on and fell down. And his mother took him and cast him under an olive tree and went and sat her down over against him at a distance of a bow shot, for she said, let me not see the death of my child. As she sat and wept, a malach of Yahuwah, one of the Kodesh ones, said to her, why weep, you Hagar? Arise, take the child, and hold him in your hand, for Yahuwah has heard your voice and has seen the child. And she opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water, and she went and filled her bottle with water, and she gave her child to drink, and she arose and went towards the wilderness of Paran. And the child grew and became an archer, and Yahuwah was with him. And his mother took him a wife from among the daughters of Egypt, and she bare him a son, and he called his name Nabaot, Nabaot, for she said, Yahuwah was nigh to me when I called upon him, or was near to me with that nigh. Okay. And it came to pass in the 7th week, in the 1st year thereof, in the 1st month in this Jubilee, on the 12th, I like how they put that 12th with the F. My bad, family, something wrong with me. On the 12th of this month, there were voices in heaven regarding Abraham, that he was faithful in all that he had told him, and that he loved Yahuwah, and that every affliction he was faithful. And the prince, Mastema, came and said before Yahuwah, behold, Abraham loves Yishak his son, and he delights in him above all things else. Bid him offer him as a burnt offering on the altar, and you will see if he will do this command, and you will know if he is faithful in everything wherein you do try him. So we see this prince of darkness right here, this chief of the evil spirits. Once again, this name here coming before the Most High to test Abram. And Yahuwah knew that Abram was faithful in all his afflictions, for he had tried him through his country and with famine, and had tried him with the wealth of kings, and had tried him again through his wife, when she had torn from him, and with circumcision, and had tried him through Ishmael and Hagar, his maidservant, when he sent them away. And in everything wherein he had tried him, he was found faithful, and his soul was not impatient, and he was not slow to act, for he was faithful and a lover of Yahuwah.
So I just want to say I find that to be so deep because I never saw that with Abraham. This is the first time I'm seeing it. It reminds me of Job, and it just reminds me of my life. Where, like if I'm getting trials or attacked or challenged, I'm like, that means that, I'm in the right position. I have to get attacked because where I am, I'm being tested. So I just wanted to say, I just find that so deep to see someone else in the Bible have gone through that, where the evil spirit is going to the Most High and basically saying, well, test him, see how faithful he is.
Go ahead, family. You got something, go ahead.
I definitely feel that, I mean, I think I've said it before, you know what I mean? Because I always said that, I think I've said it before, that the Most High, some people say the Most High spoke to them through audibles, you know what I'm saying? You know, um, through a voice, you know what I mean? I haven't experienced that, and I'm not doubting people that people haven't heard anything, you know what I mean? I'm not doubting that, but I know exactly what she's talking about, because when the Most High speak to me, he speak through me through circumstance, through tests, through trial, through, you know what I'm saying? I know, you know what I'm saying? That's how he speaks to me. He speaks to me and say, hey, he put a test in front of me and see if I'm gonna pass it. You know what I'm saying? And if I don't pass it, it'll be waiting for me there tomorrow. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's I definitely can understand exactly the way, you know what I'm saying, that connection. I definitely totally agree with that. And I think I think he tested every last one of his prophets. I don't remember not one of them not having a test, you know, or trial.
Well, that's where test them by their fruits come from, and I'm glad both of y'all said something about this to bring it to my remembrance. I can't remember exactly what I was watching, but it came to me. Um, that's how another one of those cornerstones where God's people or who He's talking about in the book. Because how many times have we said, something to the effect, well, it couldn't have been me. If I was driving down the street without a license, they would sure lock me up. Or we go, we're always the ones. It seems as if um, we're being tested, and someone else could do the same thing, and it's like there's no punishment, no chastisement from the Most High. I'm the kind of person, let me tell y'all, that if I was to lie to my boss and tell him that I got a flat tire on my car and that's why I was late, within a week I would have a flat tire.
Mm.
I can't.
Right.
It's not that I can't lie, but I know that it's some big consequences for me when I do lie. And if I do, I
Wow.
really need to choose my words very wisely, or it's going to come back on me.
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. Yeah, he definitely. I say this sometimes. I think the Most High definitely has a sense of humor. with stuff like that. I feel you on that. Watch what you ask for. Watch what you say. You know, and it's like you can't get away. It's like, no, you ain't gonna get away with nothing. Once you actually really have a relationship with him, it's like he sees everything. It's like, no, I'm not gonna let you get forward. Yeah, I know what you did. Maybe everybody else might not know what you did, but I know what you did. And he'll get you in a way to where you know about it. And can't nobody else even see your trial. You know what I mean?
Sure enough. Yeah, and all this right here, man. Y'all out there in the comment section, y'all see me put your comments up, and I apologize they wasn't up long enough, but every last one of those comments, just yeah, every last one of them, like for instance, all right, let me go back up here because both of y'all said something that was like saying the same thing, was saying it two different ways, and like let's see here. Where was it at? Yes, trials refine you. They absolutely refine you. And actually, these three. This is another one right here. How can anyone feel you if you haven't been through anything? That part.
True.
Right.
You can't come to nobody trying to help them through their trials and errors if you ain't got no experience with it. Like, how
But Esau
can
does it all the time.
I mean, it's like how can anybody that doesn't have kids give you parent advice?
Oh, say it.
That same thing
Yeah,
right there. If you ain't got kids, don't come to me talking about how to handle the situation with my children. Don't do it. Don't do it. All
Mm-hmm.
right.
right. You can't
We're
you
trying
can't
to
even
help
get
you
a
get off
job
the
without.
drugs,
You
and
can't
you
even
ain't never
get
did a drug.
Right. And then trial
right.
after trial after
You can't even
trial,
get
you ain't a true bona fide child of Yah without a trial or without trial. Right there. Them three comments right there. Every last one of them
right.
is just yeah. There was more. Just there was more comments, but those three right there was like saying the same thing, just three different ways, and it was just man, powerful family. Appreciate y'all. Allow Yah. That's right. Allow Yah. All right.
Oh, praise.
Let's see here. All right. So let's go ahead and keep moving a little bit more. We got all these trials and tribulations in the family. You know we blessed. All right. And Yahuwah said to him, Abraham, Abraham. And he said, Behold, here I am. And he said, Take your beloved son, whom you love, even Yishak, and go into the high country and offer him on one of the mountains which I will point out to you, or point out unto you. And he rose early in the morning and saddled his ass, and took his two young men with him, and Yishak his son, and clave the wood of the burnt offering. And he went to the place on the third day, and he saw the place afar off. And he came to the well of water. Oh, let me get you back in here. There you go. All right. Let's see here. And he came to the well of water, and he said to his young men, Abide you here with the ass, and I and the lad shall go yonder. And when we have worshipped, we shall come again to you. And he took the wood of the burnt offering and laid it on Yishak his son. And he took in his hand the fire and the knife. And they went both of them together to that place. And Yishak said to his father, Father. And he said, Here I am, my son. And he said to him, Behold the fire and the knife and the wood, but where is the sheep for the burnt offering, father? And he said, Yahuwah will provide for himself a sheep for a burnt offering, my son. And he drew near to the place of the mount of Yahuwah, and he built an altar, and he placed the wood on the altar, and bound Yishak his son, and placed him on the wood which was upon the altar. and stretched forth his hand to take the knife to slay Yishak his son. And I stood before him, and before the prince Mastema, and Yahuwah said, bid him not to lay his hand on the lad, nor to do anything to him, for I have shown that he fears Yahuwah. Let's get you back in here. There you go. All right. And this, since I know you probably popped out for a second, and he built an altar, and he placed the wood on the altar, and bound Yishak his son, and placed him on the wood, which was upon the altar, and stretched forth his hand to take the knife to slay Yishak his son. And I stood before him, and before the prince Mastema, and Yahuwah said, bid him not to lay his hand on the lad, nor to do anything to him, for I have shown that he fears Yahuwah. And I called to him from heaven, and said to him, Abraham, Abraham. And he was terrified and said, behold, here I am, or here am I. And I said to him, lay not your hand upon the lad, neither do you anything to him, for now I have shown that you fear Yahuwah, and I have not withheld your son, your firstborn son, from me. And the prince Mastema was put to shame, and Abraham lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, a ram caught by his horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it for a burnt offering in the stead of his son. And Abraham called the place, or that place, Yahuwah has seen, so that it is said, Yahuwah has seen, that is Mount Zion. And Yahuwah called Abraham by his name a second time from heaven, and he caused us to appear to speak to him in the name of Yahuwah. And he said, by myself have I sworn, saith Yahuwah, because you have done this thing, and have not withheld your son, your beloved son, from me, that in blessing I will bless you, and in multiplying I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven, and as the sand which is on the seashore. And your seed shall inherit the cities of its enemies, and in your seed shall all nations of the earth be blessed, because you have obeyed my voice. And I have shown to all that you are faithful unto me, and all that I have said unto you. Go in shalom, peace and blessings. And Abraham went to his young men, and they arose and went together to Beersheba. And Abraham dwelt by the well of the oath, and he celebrated this festival every year, 7 days with joy, and he called it the festival of Yahuwah, according to the 7 days during which he went and returned in shalom. And accordingly has it been ordained and written on the heavenly tablets regarding Israel, and it seed that they should observe this festival 7 days with the joy of festival. Now, one thing that we definitely see that's different here in Jubilees, and definitely different from Genesis, is that Yishak knew. In Jasher, we see that it wasn't just Yishak that went with him. It was Yishak, which was going to be the sacrifice. Yishak knew what was going on because him and Ishmael was discussing their faith and things like that, and you know how they love the Most High and how they love their father. Well, Yishak boasted so much. He said, I love the Most High so much that even if my father was to sacrifice me before Yahuwah, I wouldn't even be against it. And the adversary, the devil, and we have his name here, took advantage of that situation, or tried to take advantage of that situation, and tried to go ahead and put that situation before the Most High by saying that, you see how Yishak boasts, let's test him. Matter of fact, let's test Abraham in the process as well by seeing if he'll go through with it. Yishak knew what was going on. Abraham eventually got to figuring out exactly what was going on. But on the way, these people that was with them was Ishmael and Eliezer. So they was with them. And Ishmael thought that he knew that, well, he had this feeling that he was fixing to sacrifice Yishak on the top of the mountain, and that he was going to get the inheritance. But Eliezer was like, nah, I've been faithful since day one. Like, I'm going to be the heir. I'm going to get the inheritance, you know. But that wasn't the case at all. But here in Jubilees, we don't get the names of those two. We don't know that they're there accompanying this all this while it's going down. And so, and there was also more dialogue that we got in Jasher from this same moment right here, because Yishak even told Abraham to tighten the ropes down even tighter, lest he should move before the piercing of the knife into him. He was being faithful. Yishak was being faithful all the way through, and Abraham was being faithful all the way through. All the way through this. All right. But see, they don't tell you that. They don't want you to know all that. Especially in the other books. Let's see, make sure everybody's in. Cool. I'm going to blow this back up. All right. So, right here, Sarah died in Hebron. And in the first year of the first week in the 42nd Jubilee, Abraham returned and dwelt opposite Hebron. That is Kirjath Arba. And see, in the other one, it was Kirat Arba. 2 weeks of the years. In the first year of the third week of this Jubilee, the days of the life of Sarah were accomplished, and she died in Hebron. And Abraham went to mourn over her and bury her. And we tried him to see if his spirit were patient and he were not goodness gracious, indignant in the words of his mouth. And he was found patient in his words in this, and was not disturbed. For in patience of spirit he conversed with the children of Heth, to the intent that they should give him a place in which to bury his dead. Let's get you back in here. All right. You're having some connectivity issues.
Yes, I am. The adversary does not want me speaking on here, I guess.
No, he don't want you seeing this. This is your first time seeing this. All right. So
it was earlier for me.
Right. So as we're right here, we see how Abraham is converses with the children of Heth to the intent that they should give him a place in which to bury his dead. Now, in this right here, as we're talking about how Sarah died, they're not telling us exactly what Jasher showed us either. That the devil had came to Sarah and told her that Abraham was sacrificing Yishak. And you know, they don't show you this here, but Jasher shows you that, and how it started to break her. It broke her heart, and so she was trying to find him all over the place to try to stop it. But then when she kind of sat down for a moment, it was like, well, it must be of the Most High. She came to accept it. It took her a while. It took her a good minute because she had searched here, there, and everywhere. But by the time she kind of tired herself out, she was like, well, this must be from the Most High. He's got his reasons. You know, so she was actually okay. But then after the whole sacrifice that did not happen to Yishak, the devil came back to her and told her that he was mistaken. Yishak lives. And so, in a fit of joy, she ended up having a heart attack. And
Right.
that's how she died.
Right.
So, and now, well, Abraham came back to find that Sarah was not where he had left her, but she had went to Hebron to look for him. And then when he found her body there, found that she was dead, he buried her here, at this cave that he's carrying by from the children of Heth. This cave right here. All right. So I wanted to go ahead and throw those things out there for anybody that has not seen that or did not know that. Just wanted to go and recap some of those things. All right. And Yahweh, Yahuwah, gave him free unmerited favor before all who saw him. And he besought in gentleness the sons of Heth. And they gave him the land of the double cave over against Mamre, that is Hebron, for 400 pieces of silver. And they besought him, saying, we shall give it to you for nothing. But he would not take it from their hands for nothing. For he gave the price of the place, the money in full. And he bowed down before them twice. And after this, he buried his dead in the double cave. And all the days of the life of Sarah were 127 years. That is 2 Jubilees and 4 weeks. Ooh, all right. Remember last week or on Shabbat, we were wanting to get the answer to how long the Jubilees are and what Jubilee we're in. Well, I'm pretty certain because we got into that calendar issue talking about that. And so if Sarah died at 127 years old, and it's saying that is 2 Jubilees and 4 weeks, that helps us narrow down some of this math here. Now, I'm a pretty decent mathematician, but I ain't the greatest. And I would need some help for this one. All right. Oh, 2 Jubilees and 4 weeks and 1 year. Oh, I didn't finish the sentence. My bad, family. Misalaki. All right. So 2 Jubilees and 4 weeks and 1 year is 127 years. Nice. These are the days of the years of the life of Sarah. This is the 10th trial wherewith Abraham was tried, and he was found faithful, patient in spirit. And he said not a single word regarding the rumor in the land, how that Yahuwah had said that he would give it to him and to his seed after him. And he had begged the place. Now you getting dropped out. All right, let's go ahead and back up a little bit.
Yeah. I'll just say, the adversary definitely fight now.
Yeah, he trying to fight all of this right now because we know one of his names that we're gonna be warned against in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? We got another name to slap around in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? To cast down, put under our foot. You know what I'm saying? Because they ain't got no power over us. The Most High is our power. So he's trying. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Amen.
Once again, we know one of his names from here, and we're gonna keep putting our foot on his neck. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead. I'm gonna reread this for you, bro, because I don't know exactly when you fell out. But right here, I know you already know, bro, about the cave and whatnot. Right. But say right here, and all the days of the life of Sarah were 127 years. That is 2 Jubilees and 4 weeks and 1 year. That's and I was just saying a little bit ago how we have some math right here that'll help us figure out how long Jubilees are, and then hopefully to help us figure out what Jubilee we're in. All right, it says these are the days and the years of the life of Sarah. And then this is the 10th trial wherewith Abraham was tried, and he was found faithful, patient in spirit. And he said not a single word regarding the rumor in the land, how that Yahuwah had said that he would give it to him and to his seed after him. And he begged the place there to bury his dead, for he was found faithful and was recorded on the heavenly tablets as the friend of Yahuwah. Mm. And in the 4th year thereof, he took a wife for his son Yishak, and her name was Rebekah, the daughter of Bethuel, the son of Nahor, the brother of Abraham, the sister of Laban, and daughter of Bethuel. And Bethuel was the son of Milcah, who was the wife of Nahor, the brother of Abraham. And Abraham took to himself a 3rd wife. Her name was Keturah, from among the daughters of his household servants, for Hagar had died before Sarah, and she bare him 6 sons. This is what Sister Shauna Shea was throwing out here. Zimram, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua, in the 2 weeks of years. And in the 6th week, in the 2nd year thereof, Rebekah bare to Yishak 2 sons, Jacob and Esau. And Jacob was a smooth and upright man, and Esau was fierce, a man of the field, and hairy, and Jacob dwelt in tents. And the youths grew, and Jacob learned to write, but Esau did not learn, for he was a man of the field and a hunter, and he learnt war, and all his deeds were fierce. And Abraham loved Jacob, but Yishak loved Esau. And Abraham saw the deeds of Esau, and he knew that in Jacob should his name and seed be called. And he called Rebekah and gave commandment regarding Jacob, for he knew that she too loved Jacob much more than Esau. And he said to her, My daughter, watch over my son Jacob, for he shall be in my stead on the earth, and for a blessing in the midst of the children of men, and for the splendor of the whole seed of Shem. For I know that Yahuwah will choose him to be a people for possession unto himself, above all peoples that are upon the face of the earth. And behold, Yishak, my son, loves Esau more than Jacob. But I see that you truly love Jacob, and still further to your kindness to him, and let your eyes be upon him in love. For he shall be a blessing unto us on the earth from henceforth unto all generations of the earth. Let your hands be strong, and let your heart rejoice in your son Jacob. For I have loved him far beyond all my sons. He shall be blessed forever, and his seed shall fill the whole earth. If a man can number the sand of the earth, his deed also shall be numbered. And all the blessings wherewith Yahuwah has blessed me, and my seed shall belong to Jacob, and his seed always. And in his seed shall my name be blessed, and in the name of my fathers, Shem, and Noah, and Enoch, and Mahalalel, and Enos, and Seth, and Adam. And these shall serve to lay the foundations of the heaven, and to strengthen the earth, and to renew all the luminaries which are in the firmament. He called Jacob before the eyes of Rebekah his mother, and kissed him, and blessed him, and said, Jacob, my beloved son, whom my soul loves, may Yahuwah bless you from above the firmament, and may he give you all the blessings wherewith he blessed Adam, and Enoch, and Noah, and Shem, and all the things of which he told me, and all the things which he promised to give me, may he cause to cleave to you and to your seed forever, according to the days of heaven above the earth. And the spirits of Mastema shall not rule over you, or your seed to turn you from Yahuwah, who is your sovereign ruler from henceforth forever. And may Yahuwah Almighty be a father to you, and you the firstborn son, and to the people always. Go in shalom, my son. And they both went forth together from Abraham, and Rebekah loved Jacob with all her heart and with all her soul, very much more than Esau. But Yishak loved Esau much more than Yaakov. All right. So which one of those are you going to use? It's all good though. I get it. I get it. So I ain't even tripping. This is the first time I've seen this in streaming ever.
And
So
I'm reading off of one and listening on the other, actually.
hey, it's all good. It's all good. It is what it is. I ain't tripping. But yeah, family, there's a lot right there. That was completely different from Jasher. That last part right there, where we see how, Grandpa Abraham had pretty much, man, he let it be known some of these hidden things about calling Yaakov the firstborn son of the Most High Yah. Same as we got way back in the beginning of Jubilees. He just reconfirmed it once again. And, and we got this name right here. We got to pray against this name, to put our foot on his throat, put our foot on his neck. Like, nah. Yeah. I see you, Drayla. Sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize. But yeah, that part. All of that. The firstborn son and all of that. Let's see here. Let's go back on up. I like this. We ought to remain faithful and patient through our trials. I know I'm guilty of being impatient at times. Me too. Repent for being impatient. Amen. We all need help on that.
Hey, bro. I was trying to. You gotta stroll up to Shauna Shade's That's Right in My Hebrew on the corner voice. Man, but I was laughing, rolling. I saw it like right when I just right when I got back in. Yeah, look, I saw it on the screen and I was rolling, bro. Like I saw it, like I saw the purple dudes with the purple capes on and everything. When she said, "That's right," man, I was bro. I was rolling. I'm glad my mic was on mute.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Auntie Camp 2 put in 50 years in the Jubilee. Allow Yah. So I guess once we get to looking or pulling up from the actual Enochian calendar and trying to cross-reference with pretty much the most accurate that we can come up with of the proper calendar, the days, nights, and how the moon be incorporated with the sun. If we were to take this 50 years and divide it by those, take that many years divided by 50, we would get how many Jubilees we're in, what Jubilee we're in. So right. I very much appreciate that, Auntie Cam, too. Love you, Auntie. I just got to see that again. That's right. Oh, let's see here. 10 trials. 10 trials. Yeah. Isn't there? Hold on, right here. Yep. That's the G Fight cave right there. This is the one he bought from the children of Heth. This is it. But in Jasher, we didn't see that it was a double cave. We didn't see it being named that way, but we saw it being named that way here. Definitely. Yes, they do. Absolutely. Oh, shalom. All praise to the Most High Yah on that. All right. Right. Oh, Shalisha Morgan, definitely. Hey, I didn't shout you out earlier on. Definitely. Shalom. I did see you up in here and I just didn't say anything. My bad.
Shalom.
Yep. So that's yep. He's got many names. So he's got many names because he's been trying to hide himself too, just like his children have been changing their names for centuries as well. You know,
Right.
yeah. His children have been changing their names, and you know, we know who the synagogue of Satan is. Yep, about 6,000, maybe 7. I saw one where the calendar says we're in year 6,000 and something like that, or something like that. But yeah, getting there, definitely getting there. Sure enough, sure enough. So some things that we can recap on everything that we've got so far. You know what I'm saying? Is there anything we really definitely need to recap right quick? Some other stuff in here because I like the conversations and man, the comments in here. Let's see here. Yep. It's an angel of evil, hostility, adversity, and destruction, the accuser, a prince of demons and injustice. That's right.
And you know, I just thought of this, you know, that just came to my head, you know, he
Allow God.
changes, he tries to hide and change so much, but in the sense of when you sit there and think about the Most High stated that he don't change. You know, so it's like, you know, I mean, you see where I'm going with this? His children changed names, he changed names. The Most High, you know, that's Bible. He said the Most High don't change. So it's almost like a complete opposite, you know.
You gotta be freaking kidding me.
I love all this good sharing, fellowship, Bible study. Super brew.
Yeah, and they're gonna be. I think they're gonna give me with the super proof thing, huh?
Uh-huh. Oh goodness. Definitely appreciate all of this. As a matter of fact, real quick, since we had a good talk on refining, I'm gonna go ahead and pull up this song by Seven and Jared Sanders called Refine Me. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this up right quick. See how y'all like this. See if y'all remember this one.
Sometimes you need to remind me that I'm always safe in your hands. Yeah, for real. Ay, no more stressing, Lord, on your blessings. I'ma meditate on a quest for more of your presence, cause it medicates. From this precipice, I'ma levitate. Cause your yoke is easy and your burden is light, like a feather's weight. I'm tipping the vinyl, I set the record straight. Forever with you is final, go ahead and set a date. Your word is incredible when I meditate. It's edible, it's bread, meat, and vegetables. Let me get a plate. We was sleeping in the grave, we was weak and depraved. Our sinful deeds had embedded us in this bed of hate. And we received it as slaves, but we believed that it saves. Jesus freed us and led us into a better state. I'm ill-equipped, I admit it, go ahead and educate. Won't throw a fit, I'm submitted to what you legislate. Yeah, cause you are my father and you are sovereign king. And I'ma follow you if I'm ballin' or I ain't got a thing. Remind me that you've designed me by your own plan, and that's why they can't define me, cause you refine me by your own hand. Sometimes you need to remind me that you designed me by your own plan. Oh yeah, and they can't define me, cause you refine me by your own hand. Yeah.
Father, you parted the seas. You was pardoning your art in the garden with these. You was hardening the heart of a king. You probably grieved how it all got to start in the garden with Eve. I never feared thee. I was thinking you ain't never hear me, but you was giving the guards another earpiece. That's a whole nother lesson, and it rarely had to cut it off just to hear you more clearly. Looking at you in the war zone is televised. Thinking the truth was Morse code, but Hellenized. Try and reach you for the torch blows, Berettas fly, and pop for chasing the dream like Coretta's guy. Looking for hope in every crack in the crevice. Every book that I'm quoting, I give it maximum effort. Now I'm looking to the cross and for your last sheep and ask you for what I can't reach.
Sometimes you need to remind me that you designed me by your own plan, and that's why they can't define me, 'cause you refine me by your own hand. Sometimes you need to remind me that you designed me by your own plan. Oh yeah, and they can't define me, 'cause you refine me by your own hand. And sometimes I just need you to know, oh, that I'm hurting right now. Sometimes I lose sight on you. It ain't right, but it's true. I need you and only you. I ain't gonna give no one else my attention. I'ma stay right here on my knees. My faith won't be shaken in the season. You do know, always safe in your plan.
Yeah, I absolutely agree right there, Scott Garrett. You know what I'm saying, Headley. I can't wait. I can't wait for Jared Sanders to come in his full awakening. That brother is talented. I got just about every album the brother put out, and I bump his music on a regular. And I got some of the new videos and stuff too. And I've been waiting. I've been waiting during all this stuff going on for Jared Sanders to wake full on up. And I've been waiting for the rest of the whole God Over Money clique, as well as Hog Mob, to full wake up, because they and I got you. If you go onto this page right here and go into the playlist section, and you go into the save playlist and click that open, all the music that I've been collecting so far is all right there. All that and then some. So all this holy hip hop, Hebrew hard music is all right here. Excuse me, all right here. And I wanted to make sure that when I started this channel off, that I incorporated the holy hip hop into it, because of what it's done for me. I'm one of them same brothers that I used to bump secular hip hop. I'm a 79 edition. So I got to grow up to all the pioneers of hip hop. My dad used to make road trips back and forth to New York and get mixtapes all the time from all the pioneers before you ever heard about them or saw them on MTV. I mean, I was listening to all the underground pioneers, you know what I'm saying, from all the radio shows, the underground radio shows and everything. So I got to see the whole rise and fall of hip hop and rap music. And so when I first got introduced to what at that time was known as Christian rap, I wasn't really feeling it all like that. I was still stuck on stupid with the secular music and everything else, because it was comfortable, it was hardcore, it was rugged. I wanted to be like that. Oh, I'm from the block. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm from the block. But man, it's from the DMV area. I'm not hip. I know he said he's a Florida boy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, No Malice. I was surprised to see Malice turn to No Malice and wake up and become a holy hip hop, you know what I'm saying, artist. But I'm still waiting to see when the rest of these holy hip hop cats is on this page. You know what I'm saying? All their albums are there. Derek Minor had a short little awakening for a moment. I got that music video on this page where he's actually rocking fringes. But Richmond, Virginia area. Okay, I got you. But I also saw later on in that same year, oh yeah, okay, Auntie, I'll play it again. But I saw later on in the same year that Derek Minor was rocking fringes, acting like he done woke up, he knows who he is. And then just this last Saturnalia, you know, their little pagan Christmas time, you know what I'm saying? He's got Christmas special on his. I'm like, come on, man. How you gonna wake up and rock fringes and turn around and celebrate Pagan Day with him? Man, break my heart.
Cause he under contract, just like your boy what's his name? Mariah Carey's husband, ex-husband. What's his name?
I'm talking about Nick Cannon.
Yeah, he did an about face really, really quick. And after this whole incident with DMX, I didn't realize that DMX was awakened, and I was listening to somebody, and God help me, I don't remember her name, but she mentioned that Bobby Brown and Whitney had woke up, and then doing that research, Michael Jackson woke up, and these people are the same ones. They all died of heart attacks, and TCA just did I didn't get to catch it all, but about the correlation between people waking up and them having these natural dying of natural causes or drug overdoses.
Yeah, I feel you on that because man, there's a lot of that going on, especially when you say Mike. You see, a lot of people knew Mike. Yeah, you see, a lot of people knew Michael Jackson's famous songs, but you see, Michael Jackson. See, I mean, now Rouse, I'm like you know what I'm saying with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish I could have saw the birth of hip hop. I didn't see the birth of hip hop. I woke up to drop it like it's hot and chopper style and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I was born during that time.
And I was praying for y'all, man. I'm thankful that my prayers came true. At least you and some folks at your age, some brothers and sisters your age. Because I was, man, when I with that era of rap music, I turned completely away from. I was never a Hot Boy fan. I was never a Chopper City fan. I was born never a 3 6 Mafia fan like that at all. I was never that right there was the start of me turning my back on it. And it's like, man, I'm just gonna stick with this Wu-Tang. I'm gonna stick with this Pac. I'm gonna stick with this Biggie. I'm gonna stick with this Big L. I'm gonna stick with some West Side Connection. I'm gonna stick with the Old Cube and everybody else, Scarface, TMT, Too Much Trouble. I'm gonna stick with cats that is for real. Not this, bubblegum stuff.
Right.
And
right, yeah.
Yeah. So I eventually
go
ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead, family. I interrupted you.
Well, look, I was just saying that, because I feel you. I definitely feel you because you got to understand. I didn't start listening to Tupac until I got a tad bit teenager, you know what I'm saying? Because I was 5 when he died, you know what I mean? Let's keep it clear, all the cats that want to be like they've been rocking with Pac, that's my age. Like, man, come on, man, we was 5 when Pac died, you know what I mean? So, I mean, but you know what I'm saying? Like, some of them cats that's my age be like, man, I grew up on Pac. Like, come on, man, we was 5 when he died, you know what I mean? But right, Essential Growth, like that is my favorite artist right there on the screen.
And see, I'm gonna play a song from Lauryn Hill. Just as you brought that up, I'm gonna play "I'll Get Out."
That is my favorite.
I'm gonna play "I'll Get Out" from Lauryn Hill in just a moment, just because of that.
yeah.
I
And doo
grew up
wop,
in
she
a
dropped a lot on doo wop too. But what I was saying about Mike though, this is what I was trying to point out about Mike. I never noticed this, and I knew I always liked this song. And like y'all know, I'm a '90s baby. So one of my first favorite movies was Free Willy. If anybody has ever watched Free Willy, that soundtrack he did, go listen to that soundtrack he did for the Free Willy. It's called, I think it's Will You Be There? But he's talking about the River Jordan and talking about, man, Mike was up and it's kind of crazy. Like after that, they cancel him. You know what I mean? They cancel him. And just like the thing with DMX that they got going on now, you know what I'm saying? X was really hanging with the camps. Like for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? I follow a guy that followed, you know what I'm saying, that's a camp member. And he had pictures with X. You know what I'm saying? Like he just started taking pictures with X like last month, and now all this stuff going on with X. You know what I mean? And I'm like, it happens over and over again when these industry cats wake up. That's when they get to going at them. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's just, but the rebellious ones that won't let it go. You know what I'm saying? The rebellious ones that won't let it go, they have to do something drastic to them like X. You see what I'm saying? They have to do something drastic to them like Michael Jackson. They got to do something drastic to them like um, Bobby and Whitney. And it seems like they always throw out there that these people on drugs or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Because a lot of times, like Bobby and Whitney. Oh, go ahead, sis.
they like to disparage their names, and we are seeing that we're awakened to it. Me personally, I grew up in apostolic and Pentecostal church, so it wasn't until I was probably 15 years old where I started, maybe 13, I started getting introduced to secular music. But it wasn't a thing for me until I got, well into, my early 20s before I really start going hard into music. And it was that era of Young Money and, Nicki Minaj and all that. So I don't have I know of DMX. It wasn't Naughty by Nature, Ice Cube and Vanilla Ice. Those were the things that I remember. Lauren Hill, most certainly. But it was just stuff that I listened to. It was entertainment for me, and I never really tried to get caught up in their drama or what they did outside of music. A lot of times, even today, I tell everybody I'm horrible with names. So if I can't relate you to a movie or something like, or a certain something, then I just really don't know who you are. I can see your face and know you, but that's about it. Um, but music, again, I didn't get into their whole drama, especially with Michael Jackson. I believed what the media said about him, that he was this child molester, and I'm starting to realize that Michael didn't do those things. I'm starting to really he just knew that it was a battle that he couldn't fight, so he just didn't fight it. He didn't, I mean, he did his court stuff, but we didn't just see in TV or on the radio or in the news that he was just emphatically denying this stuff, all going, back crazy, like probably me or you would. No, I never did this stuff, and look like the crazy black woman on television, just you know, reassuring them that's probably exactly what I had done. But I see the setup now, y'all. It's hard for me sometimes to again, I realize how blind and stupid I was, being just so caught up in this world and not being able to actually understand the world in which I live. And but y'all reminded me of something we were talking about in the scripture, where we're constantly getting chastised, and we have to we have to overcome those. If we don't, I mean, it just shows, it shows our fruit. It literally shows what we're made of when we can't um rise above or just complete the task that was given to us. And a lot of times it's frustrating. Sometimes it's really tedious to get through those trials and tribulations. But if y'all know, like I know, we're better for it after we're done. And we do have those testimonies to where we can inspire, uplift, encourage other people that are in similar circumstances as we are or that we've been through. We can help people instead of having to bump their head against that wall. They can learn from our mistakes instead of going through the same things that we've gone through.
Yep. Every last bit of it. Every last bit of that. Let's see here. Let me go ahead. Now, I don't have, let me see. I want to go back up. I really don't have at this moment everything is everything. I'm just, don't shoot me. Don't send me nothing in the mail that's mean, but actually don't. But I do have some other songs. So I am going to play this one right quick. I have two very important songs that I'm going to be bringing back during the ladies episode for y'all ladies. You know what I'm saying? All Hebrew lady episode. This is two of the songs. Well, this is one of the two songs. One of them is The Mystery of Iniquity, and the other one is this one, I'll Get Out. But then there's also Jerusalem, Oh Jerusalem, that from Lauryn Hill. And she was like, you know, she was spilling the beans right there. Like she woke up, she was letting it be known that she know who's who. You know what I'm saying? So right here's another one. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this one right here. Lauryn Hill, I Get Out. Yeah,
All
that
that pain.
all of that. All of
Oh
that.
my goodness. I enjoy
Yeah.
Lauryn Hill ever since Sister Act. And I didn't know that this song existed. And the whole time I'm hearing this, I'm thinking to myself, they locked her up. And I remember seeing her after she got out of prison, and she looked like she had a hard time. She looked like she had just aged so rapidly in the time that she was in jail.
Mm, mm.
Yeah,
Let's see.
Lauren was always spitting that real. She was always spitting that real. Even
Always.
in her hit song Doo Wop, she was talking about the Gentiles. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? She was like you know what I'm saying? Like that's I mean that's what I jam. You hear me? That's Lauren. That's my girl. You know what I'm saying? And all the way up to the point to where you know what I'm saying. My daughter, she knows that song "Doo Wop." I'm gonna have to get her sing "Doo Wop" for y'all one time. She know that song "Doo Wop" word for word.
Hey, I don't remember what she went to jail for neither.
I think it was taxes.
Sheesh. Oh goodness.
That's what I think it was. And these, I what I was trying to get to before, and I lost my train of thought, is that God said that we were going to have this time of chastisement, and that we just had to prevail. And we see a lot of us that don't. We we go along to get along. We make compromises, and that's what kind of this song put me back into mind. And what I wanted to say is that we can't compromise, y'all. And I've been hearing the word Judaizer being thrown around, and the lack thereof of the proper meaning that or terms that they're trying to use it in. And we don't know how to be perfect yet, but we can't use the excuse that, well, I'm not perfect, because God did say that you could be perfect. That whole thing about I even God said, the perfection wasn't in people. I don't even exactly know what how people say it, but perfection is in us. We have to continue to perfect our perfection every single day, and we cannot um um go along to get along. We can't say something that will lead everybody astray. And I'm not even talking about biblically, y'all. I'm talking about Pastor Johnson on the corner that's trying to tell everybody to take the push pop. We cannot lead our people astray at any time. We can't compromise. We can't say, well, I'm going to take this money and this only affects me. No, it affects all of us. When we allow Esau or even our own people to go out and misrepresent us, it affects us. Every day it has affected us, and for 400 years it has affected us. And we as a people, individually, we have to say, no, we need to get out of the box. I'm not going to sell my soul. I'm not going to sell my inheritance, because I know the end of this story. That's what's so great about the God that we serve, is that we already know how this story ends. All we have to do is play our part. How easy is that?
I
Hallelujah.
de- I definitely agree, Sister Sharita, with everything you just said. You said a whole mouthful. I mean, like I'm cheering in the
Wow,
background. You
yeah,
heard me? I'm chilling in the background, like we at a prep rally. You heard me? But
man,
but that's the
that was
thing, though.
beautiful.
That's the Yeah,
Wow,
that was
yeah.
real beautiful. And that's the problem with us, though. That go along to get along spirit. I mean, if y'all ain't catch last show, I told y'all, old man told me that go along to get along was in the Bible. Y'all do y'all research. Don't let them get away with that. You see, and you gotta understand, this old man that told me that, he had everybody there convinced already until I pulled that. You see what I'm saying? Like, just because he was old and had a beard and said that stuff, just because he said that, just because he was old and everybody there was kind of, my age, they was all like, yeah, man, you got to go along to get along. That's Bible. And I'm like, yo, that's not Bible. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is Martin Luther King. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is we have to get rid of that out of there. Like, just what Lauren was saying, we have to get away from this system. We have to go back to, you know what I'm saying? We have to go back to the Most High. We have to go back to Him. Let Him rule us. Because if we
Mm-hmm.
don't if we don't, this is because you got to understand. We have tried. We have tried Islam. You know what I'm saying? We have tried Eurocentral Christianity. We have tried this commit, and all this stuff has been out for years. Matter of fact, this is stuff that you can go on. We just got through talking about this. All that stuff that I just named, you can go on TV and they won't do you nothing for talking about it. You know what I'm saying? They won't do you nothing for talking about Islam. They on TV. They won't do nothing for talking about Eurocentric Christianity on TV. They won't do you nothing for talking about some commit stuff. They won't do you, but to keep it all the way real, they won't talk about you. They won't do you nothing about getting up on TV with that indigenous stuff. They won't do you nothing for that. But the minute you say that we Judah,
Or being a
yeah, the minute you,
transsexual. You can talk and do
yeah,
anything.
yeah, but the minute you say you Judah, oh, they're gonna have a fan base, have a voice, and say we Judah, and watch how they get you out of here. We
Or
have tried
try,
everything. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? We have tried
try to get you out of
everything.
here.
Right. We have tried everything except going back to the Most High. We have tried everything. This is the only thing. This is the only thing that's gonna work. I mean, in my spirit, that's what the Most High is telling me to say. This is nothing. Ain't nothing else gonna work. Ain't nothing else
It's
gonna work.
nothing.
And the thing about it
And
is, man, I have lived. I'm not to cut you off. I have lived a life,
I,
man. I have lived a life, and ain't nothing. And the thing about it is, my mom, my brother, everybody could tell you that nothing else has worked for me. You know what I'm saying? Nothing. My mom, my little brother, everybody could tell you that they know what type of life I was living. You know what I'm saying? They know what type of life I was living. Changing me until I got that. Until Pastor Darby came around. You know what I'm saying? And told me who I was. Ain't nobody else. That's I know you telling y'all
You breaking
it's
up.
very real.
You cutting out, bro.
Give me again.
A little bit. You was going good for a moment, and then it cut smooth right out. Like, come on, we got to stomp on that dude's neck. You ain't got no power here. Get gone.
Y'all, and I know having all the answers, bringing the problem and don't bring the solution is a big part of our culture. And I don't have all the answers, but we have to step away. I mean, I know that everybody can't just stop everything they doing. In an ideal world, I've said it a million times. If we just all stopped, like if we just for one day, every Black Israelite on the earth said, you know what? I'm not doing nothing today. If every Israelite said, I'm not doing anything today, how about we all go to our local park and bring something? I don't care if it was a loaf of bread, a piece of fish, somebody else brought a barbecue pit, somebody else brought a coal. We would be like Jesus when he fed everybody with 500 loaves of bread? If everybody just brought something and we just communed together.
That's the kind of block parties I used to throw in Newark, Ohio. Back when
But
I used to live in
talking.
Applewood Village apartments, we was all on low income food stamps and everything, and we would all link up, put our food stamps together, and go to Al's Meat Market, Festival Foods, Save a Lot, or Aldi,
No,
and
but
grab up a
I'm not even
whole
talking
bunch
about
of.
that because see, because that
We
requires us
get
to
it
go to the
in.
store and spend more of our money into the system that oppresses us. If everybody brought a pack of hamburger meat out of their freezer and walked to their nearest park, at the same time, do you know that this country will come to a halt no matter how many times they tell us we only 13% of the population? If everybody just said no. Now that's me thinking bigger than I should, don't get me wrong. But take some steps to start getting yourself out of this system if you're not already preparing yourself to move differently. When I woke up, I just had to stop because there was no way that I could go back to working for my oppressor. There's no way I could go back and look at my oppressor in the face every single day without hurt, hate, and malice in my heart. There was no way that I could do that anymore. It didn't matter how much money I was going to make, what I was going to lose out on. And believe me, I have lost so much in my process. But every day I am grateful that I don't have to go to work and front and phony in front of people that I can't stand. I don't know how they've done it for 400 years.
Mm.
I can't understand how you did so much to people you hate, absolutely hate. I can't see how you can go to work and smile in somebody's face all day, every day, and then go and lynch somebody or beat someone down purely because of the color of their skin.
Oh, that reminds me. I was just in Myers today, right? Like I just got my car today. Went ahead and went up in there to grab some milk, some coffee creamer, sugar, some other healthy items, some good salad and fruits and stuff. Don't you know? As I'm going down one good healthy aisle and whatnot, I was looking down at the phone, talking to somebody, and I look up and I see this dude with the Confederate flag on his mask. And don't you know, he waited until we got right up kind of close to each other and he kind of nodded, like, how you doing? But he had this look in his eye the whole time, like, uh-oh. I might have the wrong mask on. Oh, I'm laughing at it because I gotta laugh some of these things away and pray this malice away. Oh shoot, she done disconnected. But yeah, that part. Wow. Like really, that's they I mean that's how disgusting this whole thing really is with their objective. is that they're even marketing Confederate racist flags on suicide garments. And that's what I call them. They suicide garments. And so, I mean, I said something to this senior citizen the other day while I was in Wendy's, and we were the only two people in the dining area. And I said something to him. I said, all throughout school, all 12 years of school, they tell you that CO2 is bad for you. It's toxic for you. And in less than what it take, a couple days, they convinced everybody that CO2 is okay. Breathing in your own CO2 is okay for you. To double up on masks, and stuff like that, to breathe in your own CO2. Like, they convince people of this ridiculous lie that breathing in your own CO2 is just fine for you. Like, yeah, nothing surprises me anymore either. I mean, it's like in these days and times, I'm so grateful to be awake, so grateful to be awoken to where it's like I'm about to just start walking inside the stores. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I got this condition called truth. You know what I'm saying? I can't wear a mask in your establishment because I have this condition. I have this medical condition called truth, and it just won't allow me to wear something that I know is going to make me breathe in CO2, which I know is not good for me. It's a condition called truth. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to tell you. I can't
And
wear that garment.
that's why we need to take this time to walk away from this system that we're in and start to build places for our people to go, because it's about, y'all, it's about to get crazy. Let me tell y'all how I know. I'm If y'all don't know my awakening story, it's on my page, Sharita Long. And I know me, and I know that my father knows me. Teo, Dante, and many others, they were waking up in 2017, some of them earlier than that and beyond. But the the Most High knows that He couldn't have woke me up in 2017. I would have probably went back to sleep. I would have been so angry. I would have done something crazy. It wasn't for me. God woke me up when He did, because He knows that Sharita is best under pressure. I am a short distance runner. I am not a long distance runner, but I will whoop, in the oh, what's that?
Don't you dare use common sense.
Did you say what?
Now, somebody, Shauna Shea put, "Don't you dare use common sense," and that now I'm looking. I saw like flashing lights out my window and see the
Okay.
MLMs going around the corner. I'm like, oh,
So I know that the Most High wouldn't have woke me up 15 years ago, 6 years ago, not even 2 or 3 years ago, because every the whole my whole process, as soon as I woke up, it was a steady downward spiral. At the same time, learning all at the same time. So when I realized what was going on, and when I hear Dante and Teo talking about end times, and I've heard end times before. My grandmother used to talk about it all the time. We all living in the last days, and I just said, "Oh, she's crazy. She doesn't know what she's talking about." Just dismissing everything that she said. And now, with my eyes wide open, I see where we're at, and I see, if God woke Sharita up, y'all, I'm here to tell you it is crunch time.
mm.
He know that I'm not a
Right.
patient person. He knows that I'm best under pressure. He knows that I'm going to do my best work when the time is running out. He knows that about me, and I know that much about me. So when I realized what was going on, I had to quickly get myself together. I couldn't stay crying. When I woke up, it was a physical thing. who was talking about, somebody was talking about how there was some screaming going on in the heavens, and they could hear this stuff. Well, let me tell you, when in my awakening, I screamed. I screamed for 20 minutes, y'all, at the top of my lungs in an apartment complex. You know how many ways that could have gone wrong, but God was looking out for me. But while I was screaming, I imagined that everybody in the world could hear me. And even imagining that, I just screamed even louder. And I wouldn't even call it a scream, I would call it a roar. Because I knew about slavery, but it was something about what I had just found out. I realized my whole family had been brutally murdered. It was just so much information that was downloaded at one time that there was no other way but to let it out and scream. When I see all these people committing suicides and all these mass murders all of a sudden, I see people that woke up and didn't handle it well. That's what I see right now with the shootings, with people driving their cars into propane tanks and driving their cars into houses, and these planes falling out of the air. I see people that have just woken up and they didn't handle the information that they got well at all.
Yep. I know a couple as well. I know a couple, and I'm related to a couple that looking at this written recorded human history that backs up scripture, and they turn around and tell me it's lies, all lies. It's all lies. Even the written recorded human history that shows and documents who the real people are. I heard this yelling at me saying it's lies. It's all lies. It's from a family member. You know what I'm saying? Someone in the word. Someone that's been studying the scriptures way longer than me. Someone
They
that was
said waking up
responsible.
was a lie. Is that what you said?
No. Not waking up was a lie, but the history, the written recorded human history that supports the scriptures to show who the real people of the book are, who the real Hebrews are. They told me that this real written recorded human history of the Spanish Inquisition and everything else was all lies, all fabricated lies. And this is a family member, someone that also helped me learn the scriptures along the years. And it broke my heart. It still breaks my heart to this day that this person feels this way. And, you know, man, I saw that one, and I just pray for him. I know y'all don't know who this person is, but just pray for whoever, just in your spirit, whoever this person is. Just know that I love him very much. I do. I love him so much. But at the same time, I can't side with that Eurocentric slave doctrine. I can't. And so when I say, you know, when I talk about some of our brothers and sisters that are still indoctrinated by the Eurocentric doctrine, I addressed it at this point in time that they still are. I call them that they're Gentile masters. They still obeying their Gentile masters, and so if I'm wrong for saying that, so be it. But I don't have time to sugarcoat stuff. And like I told y'all before, if y'all ever go by my Facebook page, my Coon Book page, and you see those videos that I have on my, I put those up on purpose for those people that friend request me or want to friend request me. Hopefully they'll take a look at those videos and see exactly what I'm really about. I'm still trying to grow. And at that point in time, I was way more loose with the cuss words. I was way more bold with those. And I've been refining, the Most High has been refining my speech. So I'm grateful for that part. But when it comes to certain people, The Most High is going to use me on different levels with different people because I understand what they're going through. And I understand that, just like we said earlier on, if you have not been through nothing, you can't tell me nothing. If you don't have a testimony, if you ain't got trials going on through your life, or you ain't never had a trial going through your life, you can't tell me about trials and tribulations. So sometimes I'll come up on somebody that really needs this. My screen name on Facebook is Red Letter Wrapped. You know what I'm saying? Just like this page, but I use the red letter as like the first name and Wrapped as the last name. In some of those videos, I was explaining that some of these words I use because it's like a gut punch and a throat check, or it's like a wake up, trying to snap you too. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you're paying attention. And I got it. I've spoken to some other people that was like, you know what, you still shouldn't talk like that because it's a bad witness to the body. And I get that. Said same. I was cold in my chicken language. Foul. Oh, I got you. I get it. I get it. Salute. I understand.
Hey, am I back? Am I back?
Bro.
I don't know. Yeah, man. But brother, no, man. I was trying to ad-lib you the whole time. But man, like I said, man, some people need that. Some people need that chin check, man. Some people really need that chin check. I needed that chin check, man. Like real talk. You know what I'm saying? If you'd came to me talking pretty and talking with big words that I don't know, I'm from the South. You come here talking about some exquisite twitchy and all that physics and chakras and stuff like that. You just come over there like that's why the comedic folk could never get me because it was talking about chakras and I'm like, I don't know. I'm from the South, man. We're talking about a chicken wing. What you talking about? I don't know nothing about that chakra, man. Get off the block with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Get off the block with that, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, you see where I'm going with that. You see what I'm saying? If you come to me trying to talk a slick talk or a nice talk or whatever, no, man, I needed somebody to come to me and come up in my face and be like, man, I got shot before, man. The Most High got me and put it in my face like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that got my attention. You see what I'm saying? You coming to me with some people need that, and I can only imagine how many more youth or youngins or hard-headed, stiff-necked people of Judah is around the country that need that. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So in the sense of that, that slick talk, hey, we know that slick talk ain't working, man. That slick talk got people thinking that Martin Luther King speeches is scripture. That's not script. You know what I'm saying? That's not script, and I'm not to bring that back up, but I'm saying the enemy cut me off when I was trying to get that. You know what I'm saying? No, but I'm just saying, y'all, like, we gotta come to a conclusion, and that's why I love what you're doing here, brother Ross. Yes, you're reading the word. You know what I'm saying? You're reading the word. You ain't got to sit there and punch him in the face no more. The script gonna punch him in the face. You know?
I mean, I can only hope and pray that some of those people that I'm trying to talk to in my hometown would tune in. Because, man, like, I love my people. And just like some of y'all that heard me on Tayu, we're talking with Yacoba months and months ago. Like, he knows. And y'all know, I love y'all. I love my people so much. And it's like, I don't have time to lie to you. That's the point. That's the whole point. I have no time to lie to you. So it's like, I all I got is the truth. That's all I can offer you is the truth. No matter how hard it comes out, no matter how rash it comes out. I mean, if it comes out rash like that and hard, then obviously you were being hard-headed. That's right. Pop-pops are in effect for the hard-headed. That's right. All upside your noggin for the hard-headed. I don't have time. And it's because I love y'all so much that it's like Bizzle said on one of his songs. If I know the right way to go and I point you in the wrong way, I'm a hater. I ain't nothing but having the spirit of Belial inside of me. That Bill Gates Belial spirit. You know what I'm saying? Knowing what's right will point you in the wrong direction. All because I just don't care whether you get there or not with me. You don't seem to be on the right page with me, so I don't care. No, I do care. I care too much. I care so much that I'll look like a fool in front of some people just so they get the picture that I'm really trying to talk to your spirit. I'm trying to get you to wake up. You need to know who you
Right.
are. You need to know your purpose. You need to know that this street life is not for you. Everything ain't for everybody, and that street life ain't for nobody.
Yup.
Nobody.
So I think that
Go
we
ahead.
also need to keep in mind, while we have this passion for everyone to get just even a piece of what we've already experienced, we need to keep in mind that one plants a seed, one waters a seed, and Yah has to
Yes.
do the rest. He has his responsibility.
Yeah.
I hold him accountable as well, because whatever we do, we need to understand that we must move not only with integrity, but the biggest commandment is to move in love. In love. So, I get it. We have this desire, this flame that burns in us. Like we just want people to just experience, joy and everlasting life. And we don't want anybody to perish, and we want everyone to know the truth. But we must remember, everything is in love, and we are not responsible for doing everything. Our creator uses us to plant, to water. He does the rest. So and I think sometimes we feel maybe despair, and there's no despair in the children of Yah. There's no despair, because he has each and every one of us, and we just need to keep that in mind. Every seed that you plant a seed, somebody else will come and water it. So we just have to have the faith. He sees everything that we're doing, and we have to believe whatever he speaks. He said whatever he puts out shall not return onto him. Okay,
Not
we
return void.
right. That's the same thing.
Right.
Okay.
I'll just cleaning it up, making it proper. Shall not return unto him void.
Right. So we need to keep that in mind, because we can't be beating people over the head either. I've met a few people that have told me, I could really receive what you have to tell me, because you're not jamming things down my throat. So I just, this way it also
I
takes some
think
pressure off for us as well.
I think what Roz was trying to say is that you have to feed everybody with a different type of spoon.
Yep.
There are some people. I mean, your sweet talk is not gonna get to the gangster.
Nope.
It's not.
I
It's
He is
definitely,
not.
gonna push you
I
right.
definitely
He's gonna
understood what
push
he
you
was
right
saying.
over. Yeah.
I understood what he was saying, but what I'm saying is I'm taking some of it off of him. Where if someone that if he is speaking truth to somebody that he loves, and they're not getting it, they will get it.
Mhm.
They may not be getting it there. He doesn't have to feel like, oh man, they
Right.
don't want it. I'm taking some of that load. I'm letting him, I'm removing some of that burden off of him right now. That's what I'm doing. I understand what he's saying.
I got you.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
I think we went over that maybe a couple of weeks ago, where we were talking about, some people plant the seed, water the seed. Some people hold the fertilize the seed, and I mean, there's just so many different aspects to growth that it's unbelievable. And then you have, the harvest, and as we know, we're gonna the wheat is gonna grow right up there with with the tares. So I think we're all trying to, play the part we think that the Most High has for us. And y'all, quite honestly, I don't even know what that part is yet. Like, I'm still, I know a lot about me, how I operate. But, everybody talks about this gift. When I was growing up, my cousins, they had the gift of singing. Your girl Sharita can't hold a tune. Um, I wasn't a track star. I wasn't all these things. Right now, what I have learned about myself is that I'm really a jack of all trades and a master of none. And I used to think that that was a bad thing because I couldn't hold a job for 20 years and I was never going to get some huge retirement, package from Chrysler or something crazy like that. Um, but what I'm seeing now, slowly but surely, is that every skill that I have obtained in my life from all these different jobs I was fired from, okay, because I have a bad attitude and I'm aggressive apparently. Um, that I'm using them all now to build Black business and hopefully to build my own business. So it took all of this to see my own worth and my own value and how I can um, reflect that back into my own community. Because again, I told y'all right now, I can't be left with Caucasian people, and I'm just gonna be real honest with you. And it's not that I it's not that it's hate, it's frustration and it's hurt. And I can't see how, first of all, that I didn't see it, but if I didn't see it, I really can't understand how you didn't see it. And well, why didn't somebody do something about something? If these people put half the time and energy into making the world a good place, do you know how good this place would be? But instead, they took all their time and energy to make it the worst place possible only for profit and gain. And that hurts so bad that people believe that this funny looking money is worth killing, stealing, destroying any and everybody that gets in their way of it. And that to me is the worst slap in the face.
Mm.
Right.
I can't
Can I?
disagree.
Oh,
Go ahead.
yeah, I can't disagree at all. I just want to say, I was trying to get in, but I wanted everybody to get their point across. Um, I just wanted to better clarify what we were saying, because like I don't want people to think that I'm out here beating up people or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to think that I'm out here beating up people as a witness. You know, it's really not that. Y'all let me know if I'm breaking up or not. Cause seems like when I get in my mode, it seems like I get a little breakup. But it's not that I'm beating up people, and it's not that, you know what I'm saying. And I know what Raw is saying, because he ain't gotta say, he ain't gotta technically say to me for me to understand what he talking about when he said he get a little passionate. And I know he not out there punching on people. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I ain't
But
punching nobody.
you know what I'm saying. So I'm gonna kind of clarify what we mean by that. When I say, cause see, the world has two different type of loves, right? You see what I'm saying? The love that Yeshua, the Messiah, was talking about was a different love. Because see, I find it funny that you could search throughout the scriptures. Nobody put hand on the Messiah. You see and I find that funny. I kind of, you know what I'm saying? I find that kind of funny. You know what I'm saying? Because people always want to present the love that he was given to, like he was floating down the street and talking nice to folk. But the Pharisees wanted to bite him, remember?
Mm-hmm.
He told them something so raw that they wanted to bite him and push him off the cliff. You see what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, the difference between that love is a love that I'm not gonna let you go like that. So if I gotta talk to you in a way that you gonna understand, because you see, you gotta understand. Paul checked Peter, remember? Paul checked Peter. So you know that Paul wasn't no pushover. You see what I'm saying? Paul wasn't no pushover. Paul was a Benjamite. So Paul, do you remember Paul checked Peter? So if the Messiah was dealing was he these were the people he was commanding. He wasn't his clique wasn't no nice guys. You see what I'm saying? His clique wasn't no nice guys because nobody put hand on him. You see what I'm saying? And when you read the parables that he was talking about, man, he had to be cutting everybody there. You know, he had to be cutting everybody there with the parables that if they was catching those parables that he was talking about, he had to be cutting everybody there. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no nice words, really. You know what I'm saying? To the time of to speaking to the time of the place. But the love he was talking about is the love that I got for my daughter. Now I love my daughter, and my daughter could probably get all kind of stuff. But if my daughter asks me to smoke crack, you know what I'm saying? My daughter say, "Hey, daddy, I want to smoke crack." I will beat her. I will beat her before I let her go smoke crack. That's the
That
love
part.
that you see what I'm saying. That's the love that the Messiah was talking about. Because remember when they was selling stuff in the in the temple, what he did? What did he do? He went in there with a stick and beat them folk. You see what I'm saying?
Flip the
So
tables over and
yes, and
everything.
guess what that was? That was love. That's
Yep.
not the love the world talking about today. You see what I'm saying? That's not the love because the love the world talking about today is LGBT and let you do whatever you want to be. You wake up tomorrow and be he she. You can't call me he no more. You know what I'm saying? That's the love the world talking about. So when we witness to people and when we trying to bring that love, you got to bring that right love or you're not going to get through to them. Because if you bring that worldly love, guess what they think that worldly love? They think people know that worldly love is fake. People know, people know that worldly love is fake. People know that love that they talking about. They know that the same gender stuff don't make nothing. So they know that's they know that's fake. You see what I'm saying? They know that's fake. So when you come to them with that type of love, they know that you ain't talking about nothing. They going what they gonna when they leave from you, what they gonna say, man, that's he ain't hitting on nothing. So you gotta come to him with the real love that the Messiah was talking about, the love that he went in the temple with, that he hit them balls on top of the head with. You know what I'm saying? Again, I'm just saying it's a different type of love. And that's
Right.
all we was saying. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that, you know what I'm
See,
saying? But
that
but I
that
don't
goes
I
right
don't
along with that song from Beloved Dawood that I like playing all the time. Is that song Rebuke? Because he's got
mm-hmm.
this line in there. It's not just because of this line. The whole song is fire. But like he says, pure love is correction, but everybody want affection. That's why the truth go unrecognized, because simple minds can't detect it. I only see y'all
Yeah.
perspective. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just like that. You know, that's the
So
kind of people we dealing with. Go ahead.
I definitely think that we do have a responsibility to speak truth. So I don't want anybody to think that that's not what I'm implying. Um when I say love, when I spoke about the approach about things and love, it's just that we cannot take the entire responsibility. We speak truth, we minister, and then we pray about it. We do what we got to do. Love is also shown in ministering. The love of Yeshua is shown in different ways as well, because let's go back to when Yeshua was sitting at the table with the tax collectors. Okay, he didn't go straight out and tell them, oh, you do this wrong and you do that. No, he didn't do that. He found the common ground. He showed the love of the Father. And when they saw the love of the Father, then that's when they wanted to be around him and they wanted to hear what he had to say. That's how he won them. So there's different ways of showing love, yes. And I agree with you guys. What I'm saying though is that when we correct people and we're telling them truth, we have to understand that it's not fully our responsibility. So if that person doesn't automatically change after we speak to them several times, that is not our burden to hold. That is what I'm saying. I have a troubled daughter who, I've spoken to her several times expressing my concerns, and that did not work. And Yah told me, he said, just show her love. I just want you to show her my love. And I stopped doing all that, ministering, correction, and stuff like that. Okay, because I had already said it. I've demonstrated in my life, and it wasn't doing anything. And so I got clear instructions from him pertaining to her. Just show her my love. And so now I just show her my love. Do I condone the stuff that she does? No. Does she think I condone it? No. She knows I do not condone it. I don't support it. But this is now how I'm having her join with me, having her commune with me, having her spend time with me. And this is from a young adult who never called me, didn't even want to talk to me. And now she's speaking to me every single day. So there's different type of ways. I just don't want us to walk around with, feeling burdened because someone we love that we minister to has not changed yet. Has not changed yet. That's what I was saying.
I agree. I agree,
But
sis.
y'all
I agree.
family, I don't think that any of
Yeah.
y'all walking around.
No. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Nah,
No,
yeah.
look, don't think that I don't understand you. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I just wanted to clarify. Don't think that I don't understand you, because I clearly understand you. You hit home with a lot of things you say. Trust me.
And don't get it twisted. I have rebuked people. Okay, I have even spoken to the spirit on people. I have no problem confronting the spirits on people. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have no problem doing that, confronting situations. So it's not like, oh, she just want to massage people, No. I know how to speak the truth. I could be bold too.
Right. But I know what you're
I'm
saying. You're saying, basically you're saying that, look, if they don't get it after you do that, you got to do like what the Messiah said: kick the dust off your feet and move on.
and
Move
just
on.
trust in him. Because
Yeah.
I've gone to him in prayer and I've said, listen, I've witnessed this person, repent about this and this and that. I've witnessed this person call out to your name. Father, I did what you told me to do. I'm holding you to your word, to your promises to me. I'm holding you to that.
Yeah.
I'll go back to him respectfully, of course. But
Yeah.
but then I just stayed like Abraham and Sarah, just like waiting. Because we'll feel stressed out, we'll feel burdened. Like, oh man, we at the end times, and this person's still in the dark and they haven't been awakened, and we would take that burden on us, and we can't that would kill us. We have to remember that he has to do his part.
Show enough. You see these last two comments right here.
I can't see comments.
Oh, I put them up on the screen the best I can.
Absolutely, Shauna Shade. He sure does. Absolutely. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
He's brought my mouth a couple of times.
Let's see here. One more song right quick. It goes right along with what we're talking about. I don't know if I have anything right this second on here, because I cleared a bunch of songs off and put some other songs on. Nah, I don't have anything right at the second that goes right directly along. I got good songs, but nothing that goes right directly what we're talking about. So I'll go ahead and leave that alone for the moment.
I think that your auntie wanted you to replay the other song.
Yeah, Refine Me. Yep,
yes.
She had to dip, but at the same time, I do want to replay it. I do, because this I love this song. I do. I love this song because we all need reminding, and that's why I like it. So I'll go ahead and run it back one more again. This is 7 with Jared Sanders, Refine Me.
Sometimes you need to remind me that I'm always safe in your hands. Yeah, for real. Hey, no more stressing, Lord, on your blessings. I'ma meditate on a quest for more of your presence, cause it medicates. From this precipice, I'ma levitate. Cause your yoke is easy and your burden is light, like a feather's weight. I'm tipping the vinyl, I set the record straight. Forever with you is final, go ahead and set a date. Your word is incredible when I meditate, it's edible. It's bread, meat, and vegetables, let me get a plate. We was sleep in the grave, we was weak and depraved. Our sinful deeds had embedded us in this bed of hate. And we received it as slaves, but we believed that it saves. Jesus freed us and led us into a better state. I'm ill-equipped, I admit it, go ahead and educate. Won't throw a fit, I'm submitted to what you legislate. Yeah, cause you are my father and you are sovereign king. And I'ma follow you if I'm ballin' or I ain't got a thing. Remind me that you've designed me by your own plan. And that's why they can't define me, cause you refine me by your own hand. Sometimes you need to remind me that you designed me by your own plan. Oh yeah, and they can't define me, cause you refine me by your own hand.
Yeah. Father, you parted the seas. Use pardoning your art in the garden with these. Use hardening the heart of a king. It probably grieved how it all got to start in the garden with Eve. I never feared thee. I was thinking you ain't never hear me. But you was giving the guards another earpiece. That's a whole nother lesson and it rarely had to cut it off just to hear you more clearly. Looking at you in the war zone is televised. Thinking the truth was Morse code but Hellenized. Try and reach you for the torch blows. Berettas fly and pop for chasing the dream like Coretta's guy. Looking for hope in every crack in the crevice. Every book that I'm quoting, I give it maximum effort. Now I'm looking to the cross and for your last sheep and ask you for what I can't reach.
Sometimes you need to remind me that you designed me by your own plan. And that's why they can't define me, cause you refine me by your own hand. Sometimes you need to remind me that you designed me by your own plan. Oh yeah, and they can't define me, cause you refine me by your own hand. And sometimes I just need you to know, oh, that I'm hurting right now. Sometimes I lose sight on you. It ain't right, but it's true. I need you and only you. I ain't gonna give no one else my attention. I'ma stay right here on my knees. My faith won't be shaken in the season. You do know, always safe in your plan.
I appreciate you right there. I feel for me too. I feel for y'all as well, going through similar situations, whether y'all talk about them or not. I know I'm not alone in this. We none of us are alone in what we're going through, and so I'm grateful for this ministry that's been laid before me, whether it be just reading the scriptures and Bible studying with all of y'all, sharing music, and trying to help each other find ways to heal our hoods and heal our households. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I know we all got to get up and get to the plantation tomorrow at some point in time. And like I said, I think I might be working a double tomorrow. So I'm going to go ahead and play the outro before we do. I know I forgot to pray us on in, so I'm going to definitely pray us on out. Me, Salaki, please forgive me, family. So I'll go ahead and pray us on out right quick, and then we'll see y'all again on Shabbat. Next week, I think we might be able to go live 3 times. We might be able to go ahead and get it in on Tuesday, Thursday, and Shabbat next week. So most high willing, you'll see us all again 3 times next week. and we'll get it on in some more. But let's go ahead and bow our heads if we can. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the blessings you've given us and the blessings that you will give. But most importantly, thank you for the love that you gave us to save us. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for everything we've dialogued over, especially the reading of your word and seeing some of the differences in Jubilees, Jasher, and Genesis, and being able to dialogue over these things to learn, and to share some of your scripture that's been taken away from us and share some things that some folks didn't know. We thank you so much for this opportunity to come together and just to study and to even share laughs and things. You already know, Father, we got to crack up every now and again. We've said this before that, finding a way to laugh while learning is important. That way the learning isn't boring. So we're definitely grateful for all of this. And thank you so much for bringing us together again. And I want to thank you so much, Father, one more time for what you've done for me today. Thank you for bringing this blessing into my life and being there for me. And thank you for the family, the whole nation, everybody. Thank you for the subscribers. Thank you for anybody that's willing to listen and learn. Thank you for being there for all of us to show us the way, the truth, and the life of how we're supposed to be so we can get to that. In Yahushua holy name we pray. Amen.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
All praise.
Now, yeah. All right, family.
Hallelujah.
All right, family. Thank y'all so much. Shalom. Salamah. Sigimi. Shalom, family abroad. We're going to see you again on Shabbat. All right. Shalom.
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 Shalom, family.